Wondery Plus subscribers can listen to Crime and Sports early and ad-free right now. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.
In the depths of an Atlanta forest, a clash between activists and authorities ends in tragedy. I'm Matthew Scher, and on my new podcast, We Came to the Forest, we expose the hidden truths behind a shootout that left one activist dead and countless lives forever changed. Binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest ad-free on Wondery Plus.
Hello and welcome to Crime and Sports.
Yay!
Yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you folks so much for joining us on our 4th anniversary. Yeah. This is our big 4th anniversary episode, which is very, very cool. Mm-hmm. This is our 4th year. We started in 2016 and somehow we're still going on. We started out sitting in my living room in a terrible apartment, recording on subpar equipment.
So weird.
And we've gone a lot of places since then. We were in a radio station for a while. Now we have our own cool studio. Thanks to all of you guys who've stuck with us for all this time.
Unbelievable.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you also to everybody this week for everything you've done for us, including your reviews, Apple Podcasts, that purple icon. Those reviews count. We have no idea why.
Yeah.
Well, that's not our business model, but that's their algorithm. I don't know. They help you give the reviews and helps drive you up the charts for some reason. Then people see your show and they go, hey, look at that. More people listen and it helps the show for, business wise.
Right.
So if you have not done that, please do that. Give us 5 stars. Doesn't matter what you say. Say you're following instructions, following directions. It really doesn't matter. It's just you have to write something in there and it helps a lot. Also, I think on Stitcher you can do that. 5 stars.
That seems to be a thing.
That's what we hear. So anywhere you can do that. Anywhere, just write 5 stars on the wall somewhere. So we don't care. Thank you for everything you do in that way. Also, head over to shutupandgivememurder.com.
Right.
For all of your crime and sports needs. There's new shirts and new stuff up, merch up all the time. Also, get all your small town murder information. If you're not listening to Small Town Murder, I don't know what you're thinking. Honestly, you're missing out on something big, and you should definitely check it out because it's a fun show. And then you can come see us do live shows this year. Oh, by the way, we're working on, guys, it's in the works. At least one more live crime and sports show.
Yes.
For 2020
Can't
is
wait.
in the works right now. We know when it is and where it is, but we can't tell you yet.
Do we?
We'll tell you very soon. We do. We found out.
We do. That one.
Yes, it's going to be very cool. So we're very excited about that. So that is, stay tuned. We'll announce that in the next couple weeks. Good place to find that would be on social media at Crime and Sports on Twitter and Facebook and at Small Town Murder on Instagram. Check all that out. If you want to be a hero of ours, you can do that. And people do it, and they're wonderful people, and we're gonna talk about them at the end of the show. We're gonna gush about them because these are the people that have kept the show going for 4 straight years, and we love them to death. We're gonna do our shout-outs. If you want to be one of our producers, you can do that very easily over at patreon.com/crimeinsports, or head over to PayPal. Use our email address, crimeinsports@gmail.com. That's also a good place to drop any suggestions for shows. If you have suggestions for shows for Crime and Sports. Now, let's not do the obvious. Don't send me Mike Tyson. I am aware of him. Don't send me
who's that?
Chris Benoit. Nothing obvious. If it's a really famous person, don't. But if you have like a guy like, oh man, there was this guy, when I was a kid that I watched hockey and this one dude kept getting in trouble. Send me that guy. You know what I mean? So
a German polo player. Love to hear about him.
Somebody like that. Something off. Just something that we haven't heard about. So maybe from your college, somebody did something terrible in your town. Whatever it is, that helps a lot. Just don't send us Michael Vick. We're aware.
Heard of them.
And we'll get to all of those. That's all the famous ones. We have so many coming up too. People have said, who's left? Tons of people are left. Right. Oh my God. The aforementioned big guys there. People like a few weeks from now, we're going to have Scottie Pippen.
Oh, wait, what?
Oh yeah. We're going to have Scottie Pippen.
No.
Oh yeah. Kurt Angle. We're going to have the
Wait, he was a bad guy too?
Oh yeah, squeaky clean Olympian.
Wow.
We're gonna have
Squeaky Queen.
Squeaky Queen. I can't speak. For 4 years, I've lost my ability to speak.
I want to call him a Squeaky Queen.
We have so many big names coming up too. In addition to the crazy stories like last week, nobody's ever heard of that guy, but the story's insane. So there you go. And this week we have a guy that you will recognize if you were around in the 90s at all.
I was.
And if you weren't, then you'll just hear a crazy story. So let's check it out. Let's do this. We're going to the NBA this week.
Great.
NBA 90s. This is my this is my sweet spot. Yeah. I watched the 30 for 30 on the Orlando Magic recently.
Wait, what?
The 90s Orlando Magic with like Shaq and Penny.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great.
Really?
For just that.
Scott Skiles and Anderson.
Just that. Oh, Nick Anderson. Just and Dennis Scott.
Yeah. Eddie
just
Royal.
that.
There was so many.
Oh my God! Just
was
hearing that.
It wasn't.
There was an Eddie.
It was a Royal, but not Eddie. I don't think.
I know another guy with the last name Royal that I know, so it's
might be
Dennis.
Dennis,
but it was Dennis Scott.
Okay,
it was the 3-point shooter.
Okay,
but yeah, this it was really fun, and just hearing that NBA on NBC music.
Yeah.
No, that's ESPN. That's Sports Center.
But there was a
no.
What was the
NBC
ending song? And then it started over again. That's it. No. There was an ending that sounded similar.
They had to go to the low key guitar version when they were talking over it. Tonight on NBC.
Yes. Welcome to Houston.
Yes. Marv Albert. Yes, I'll bite that ass. Yes. Marv Albert's one of those guys. They should have forced him to broadcast from prison. Not paid him or anything, but should have been part of his sentence. You must keep broadcasting for the public good because you're the best basketball broadcaster ever. Chick Hearn maybe too. Yeah, you guys like that. But, other than that, please keep doing it. But you're a terrible man. You need to be put away.
We got to hear the bars clanking in between him saying, yes, that's Scottie Pippen for 3.
Every commercial break, there'll be a disclaimer saying that you're a sexual deviant, and then we'll hear you announce more.
Scott Skiles from the corner.
Yeah, exactly. But that documentary, I was like, 90s basketball.
Yeah.
So very interested in that this week. So that's where we're going. We're going to talk about Darren O'Shea Blaylock, better known as Mookie.
Mookie Blaylock's real name is not Mookie Blaylock?
It is not. Mookie is nobody's real name, I don't think.
I'll bet Mookie Betts' real name is Mookie. And I'll bet he's named after Blaylock.
Mookie Wilson, not his real name.
No?
Nope, just nicknames people gave him. And it's always just like a nonsense nickname. It's never a nickname like he did this and that, so we called him Mookie. It's just like, I don't know. My little brother called me Mookie, and then everyone called me Mookie. Like, it's always a story like that.
Say his name again.
Darren, D-A-R-O-N, O'Shea, O-S-H-A-Y, like Ice Cube's real name, and then Blaylock.
Interesting.
Yeah, so Mookie.
All right.
We'll go with
That's
Mookie.
how you get that.
The Mookster. Born March 20th, 1967, the Mookster is here, down in Garland, Texas.
Really?
And he's a Texas kind of guy.
Yeah.
Like it's interesting. He's kind of a quiet, we'll talk about it later, keep some dip in his lip and that kind of guy. Yeah, he's like
Mookie Wilson had
Mookie Blaylock. I don't know about, I'm sure Mookie Wilson did too. He played baseball.
I'm never going to stop seeing that name.
Let's see Mookie Wilson running up the line while the ball goes through Buckner's legs.
Mookie Blaylock was so little too.
6'1".
Was he that big?
Yeah, 6'1". It's amazing how little 6'1" looks in the NBA. Because remember Kevin Johnson on the Suns? He's 6'1". He looked like he was 5'3". Getting clothesline going up the lane. And Mookie was the same type of guy.
But then again,
height-wise.
Mookie had that challenge of playing in a front court with Dikembe Mutombo behind him.
Yeah, well, Mookie was a defender, man.
Yeah.
He was sticky. He's a great defender. He's known for his defense.
I've seen his defense.
Yeah, he's an amazing defender, as we'll talk about.
He could dunk too.
Oh yeah, Mookie could get up, man. Mookie could score. Mookie had a good game. He really did. He was a decent player. He's not a superstar, but he's not he's not a scrub bench guy either. Yeah. He's a legit starter, decent player. He was designated Mookie by his older sisters who used to watch him. Yeah. And they just called him Mookie.
Weird.
No reason. One day, Mom came home from work, and this is Mookie now. And just calling him Mookie. Everybody started calling him Mookie, and it stuck.
When I was a kid, though, calling him Mookie Blaylock felt racist. It almost
feels racist. It really does. But it's just, that's his name.
It doesn't feel like a good name.
Cornbread. It's the cornbread fiasco, as we talked about. Is. I don't know if that was on here or Small Town Murder, but
I think it was here.
I think it was here. The guy we knew named Cornbread. Right. That people felt they were like, I don't want to call you Cornbread. He's like, my mama called me Cornbread. He was like, what the fuck? Call me Cornbread. That's exactly what he said.
That's how I feel about Mookie.
He's like, I'm from Mississippi. I love cornbread. So he was like, cornbread is a compliment in Mississippi. We love that shit down there. Okay, so Mookie, there we go. Sounds like cookie. I just feel like Mookie's a kind of a cookie.
I suppose that's true. I don't ever think I ever even assimilated them with each other.
I see a small child with like a big cookie. Yeah, like the
oversized one.
No, like a double, like 2 Milanos long, like that, like a big cookie. That's a Mookie. Keep carrying it around.
One in each hand.
I want a Mookie.
Like drumsticks.
Yeah, like drumsticks. Yeah, exactly. Double Milano. So
damn it.
He's a quiet guy too, real quiet. There's no shit talking at all. And he says, like, as a kid, everybody else shit talked, so he was like, everybody does it for me. I don't need to shit talk. Okay. Like, he's just a quiet. He's not that type of guy. Doesn't, even with his teammates, he's not like a guy who's like quiet around the media and quiet and then gets in the locker room. Hey guys, what's up? He's just like that always.
Really?
Gets in there, sits down. You don't even know he's there. He's one of these guys who are like, shit, did Mookie show? Oh, there he is. All right, cool. You've been here since 3? Fuck. Did you notice Mookie? I said he's been here since 3.
Yeah.
It's game time. I guess let's go out. Like, he's just sitting there dressed and taped and ready to go. So that's the kind of dude he was. He grows up in Garland, Texas. Yeah. That's where he's born and kind of raised here. And it's a pretty kind of a rough area in this area. It's the east side of Garland, Texas here. Which is outside of Dallas.
Right.
He said he just was, because also too, he wasn't a big guy growing up because he's only 6'1", so he's not a huge dude growing up. So he just kind of keeps to himself. He said he kept his head down and kept quiet, going to play ball at he played at the playgrounds and everything like that. But he just kind of kept his head down, didn't talk any shit, just played his game, and he's the type of guy too. He's an unselfish player,
right?
So he's the type of guy that if you're a playground guy and you're quiet, he's the assist. He'll play D hard. He throws assists. He's that kind of guy and doesn't want to get flashy. It's almost like he wants to play, but have you not notice him there too?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like he's
fundamental, stick to the rules, get the ball to the hole and score.
Fundamentally sound and quiet, and maybe they won't notice me.
Yeah.
I'll end up with like 6 steals and a bunch of rebounds and some assists and a few points, but maybe they'll go, did that guy play?
That's fascinating.
Is he here?
It's his whole fucking career.
He had 5 steals? Jesus Christ, I didn't even know he was here.
You just summed up his whole career.
That's it. That's the kind of guy he is. He goes to Garland High, where he's a star player.
I'm sure.
And he really is too. He's a beast on the court. I mean, he is nasty. He's that guy. If you remember him in the NBA, the intensity he played defense with, he had that in high school. So he was killing people.
I don't think I ever remember seeing that man smile.
Mookie, no, he's not a gregarious guy.
No.
He's not. Everyone says he's nice. He's just very quiet and reserved and to himself and just chill. He's a chill kind of guy.
Angry face on him though.
Yeah, he's not really angry. He's just kind of just kind of there.
Just a face.
Just mellow. He's very nondescript. He's one of those guys where he's in a lot of places that you would never notice. Like he's almost like Forrest Gump. Like in Forrest Gump, they would show. I fucking hate that asshole. But they would show like the pictures in history, and he's just like in the background.
He's always there,
looking on like a dipshit.
Yeah,
that's Mookie. You're just like, was he there too? I don't remember that. I guess he was.
Mookie Gump.
Forrest Mookie Gump. That's our guy here. The Mookster. The Gumpster. So he gets in trouble early in his life here. And as senior year in high school, he gets in trouble for marijuana for the first time.
Really?
Yep. Senior year in high school down in Texas in the early 80s was that's a scourge. I mean, good Lord.
It was probably homegrown.
I mean, that's the other thing, too. It was probably terrible weed. 80s, it was brick shit, brown, smelled like ammonia and lawn clippings.
If he didn't grow it, somebody brought it from fucking El Cajon. What's not? No, that's in fucking
Juarez or something.
Yeah, Juarez. That's the one.
Seeds and just, a couple seeds get in there by accident because it's so shitty and no good.
It's a lot of popping and headaches.
Stems everywhere. Yeah. It's like, I think I'm stoned. I definitely have a headache. I'm not sure if I'm stoned or not, though. But this was in his senior year, and he got in trouble for it at a bad time, too.
Yeah.
Because this is right before the district championship game in his senior year of high school.
Oh.
And so he gets arrested for that, and he gets suspended for the game. The school suspends him for this as well.
Oh, no.
This was like, Texas in the 80s. This was a big goddamn deal. And so he is suspended for the senior district championship game in his senior year of high school, too.
That's not good at all.
It's like his last game as a high school kid, and he can't play in it. So that's not good.
Right.
He's got bad timing, too, we'll find out. His timing is not wonderful. Just when you're like, okay, good, he's fine. Oh, Jesus, what the fuck's he doing now? It's one of those things. His timing is remarkable.
His behavior throws him bad assists.
That's the thing. Yeah, he's assisting
bad dish.
Assisting his bad behavior. Jesus Christ. That no-look pass was
that's a little errant.
Unadvised. Ill-advised, right. No-look pass there. So 1985, 1986, because of this trouble, and because he hasn't come from a huge high school or anything like that, he ends up going to a community college at first. He doesn't go to a major school.
Really?
Because he's got a little stink on him about the weed and missing a game.
Right.
If he would have been able to play in the game, nobody would have even noticed it probably. But the fact that he missed a game, they go, why wasn't he in that game? Oh, because scouts go to look. Well, where the fuck is that kid I've been looking at all year?
Yeah.
Oh, he got suspended because he got caught with weed.
Oh,
well, that's immature.
Yeah, right.
I don't know if we're going to go after him anymore. And then the recruiting became pretty soft, and he ended up at Midland Community College.
Ouch.
So that's, it's a little different.
That feels shitty.
It's a little different than going to a major school. But a couple other people that have made the NBA have actually played at Midland Community College, including Spud Webb.
No kidding.
Spud Webb was as an alumni.
They ended up being teammates.
Yeah, he's an alumni.
That's wild.
Alumni of this of this school, which is pretty amazing, and a few other guys. Nobody that played very long. Everyone played like a year. Jerome Beasley, Ricky Grace, Skeeter Henry.
Oh boy.
Nathan Juwai. Not really.
Nothing great.
Nothing. Nobody spectacular here.
Spud and Mookie.
But Spud and Mookie came out. So undersized guards.
Undersized guards with nicknames that played for the Hawks.
That's true.
That's wild.
That's true. It's funny because you see a ton of like centers is if somebody sees that you're 7 foot tall and can move around without tripping over your own feet, they'll find you.
Right.
You know what I mean? They'll find you, they'll bring you in, and they'll work with you. But if you're like smaller, then you have to prove yourself up the line. Yeah, it's a different thing. Point guards, you always see those scrappy point guards. And this guy he played in the Canadian League for a year, and now he's in the NBA and worked their way in.
This guy's a Canadian soccer player. Yeah. We let him in.
Somehow, here he is hitting jumpers. So he, this first year at Midland here, he plays in 34 games, and he averages 16.8 points a game, 3.2 rebounds, 4.6 assists. Fine season for a freshman year for him. 86-87, he's at Midland again, plays in 33 games, this time 19.6 a game, a whole extra rebound, 4.2, and 4.9 assists per game too. So he's doing well.
Yeah.
He's doing well enough to get the attention of some big schools now, big Division I school. At Midland too, he was like the junior on like the junior college All-American team, whatever. So he was kind of
a standout.
He's a standout for there. So he definitely gets noticed, and he gets recruited to Oklahoma.
Oh,
so that's obviously a big powerhouse school. Oklahoma's a major sports school, clearly, and gets on this team has a lot of NBA players on it when you look at it. The one he ends up with here, Stacey King is on this team. Yeah. Harvey Grant's on this team.
Harvey Grant?
Yeah, remember Harvey Grant? He was on the Blazers for a long time because Horace Grant was much more popular.
Got it. But is he a poor man's Horace Grant?
He's a 6'8" forward too. Yeah. He's a guy. He's a power forward. Blends in. Does he have
goggles?
I don't believe Harvey had goggles, and I don't know if he's related. We're not going to have another Lemieux situation here. We're not going to do it. I'm not positive about Harvey and Ho.
They're not.
Horace and Harvey, though.
That's crazy.
That seems like the same parents would name their children Horace and Harvey, doesn't it? Like, one after your grandfather and one after mine. That's,
That is so close.
One of those. But yeah, Stacey King, Harvey Grant, Mookie Blaylock. This is it's a squad, It's not too shabby here. It's a pretty good team. And
did Stacey King play for the Hawks too?
I think for a while he was on the Bulls. I think for a while. Stacey King. I see red.
Yeah,
I see red jerseys.
Yeah.
on him. So 87-88 Sooners. This, like I said, powerhouse team. They end up going 35-4.
That's great
that year. Oh, they were a really nasty team. They averaged 102.9 points a game, which it's a lot for a college team. That's an exciting college team. A lot of way too many college games are 67-63. You know what I mean? mean?
Right.
That's pretty awesome. They end up going to the tournament, NCAA tournament, number 1 seed in their bracket. First round, they beat Chattanooga.
Yeah.
That 116 matchup.
Fucking well better.
94-66. They thumped them good. Second round, they beat Auburn 107-87.
Okay.
Pretty nasty. Third round, 108-98. They beat number 5 seed Louisville.
These are getting so close.
They're playing better teams now. Louisville's a good team. Then they play next round 78-59 against Villanova.
That's great.
Villanova's one of those slow the ball down, we have less talent colleges in the 80s.
Slow down, we got a lot of white guys.
Yeah, we have a very good we have a very good system,
right.
But the system depends on us on athleticism not coming into this and factoring. Much like Providence did a lot, and and you'll see Penn will be in the tournament. And it's a lot of passing, and then a good solid 3-point shot that they got off. But
we only need to get 2 of those for every 3 of their possessions.
Yeah, let's take some of the running out of basketball, shall we? All this running and jumping, let's put that aside. Try to make it a game of strategy. I feel like so Villanova was a little. They had good players too.
Sure.
Villanova, don't get me wrong, but they were just a little less than some of the other schools.
It's a consistent thing for them too.
Yeah, and I know they won a national championship, but still, now there was a lot of good strategy. So then they go to they're going all the way to the Final Four here, and they play another number 1 seed, Arizona, the Wildcats, and they win 86-78.
How about
to go all the way to the final game,
national championship
against Kansas.
Yep.
And this, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, was Danny Manning. I believe this is right before. This is his senior year, I want to say. Kansas is a pretty stacked team. And this game, 83-79, they lose Oklahoma. So all the way to the final game, though. And he plays the 39 games for them. He plays in every game, shitload of minutes. I mean, he piles it on. Minutes per game, 34.5.
What a story so far.
Yeah, he
turned it around.
He's crushing it. 16.4 points a game, 4.2 rebounds, which is the same as he had in community college, and 5.9 assists, which is more assists than he had in community college. So he got better.
Well, he's got people on his team that are better shooters.
That's going to help.
A little
bit
of talent, your assists go up.
That's a good point. Yeah, if you throw to someone and it's perfect pass and he's wide open, but he misses it,
and he's a shit. Midland.
They probably don't have great shooters. I'm thinking at Midland, or anybody that's not throwing oops to a lot of guys at Midland.
That stat right there requires a lot of teamwork.
That's a lot of teamwork. Now, while at Oklahoma here, he meets a woman.
Okay.
Meets a young lady.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He meets a woman named Janelle Woods.
She sounds Oklahoman.
She is. She's a volleyball player at the university. So he meets an athletic lady, and he ends up, this is the woman he's going to marry and have a bunch of kids with.
Okay.
So they are just athletes. They're making athletes.
Yeah.
Like it's fucking a volleyball player and a basketball player. Our kids are going to be able to jump and they're going to be athletic.
They're going to be amazing.
Yeah. If you were a guy or a woman who was like, I want to make kids who are athletes too, you'd find these, a basketball player and a volleyball player. That's like the 2 most athletic people there are. That's perfect. So, and we'll talk about their kids. They're all spectacular athletes. All of them are amazing athletes. Yeah, he's got a son right now who is like a really great college football player.
That's awesome.
Like a top tier college football. Yeah, one of the top 5 wide receivers in the nation.
Got mom's shoulders.
Recruits. Yeah, apparently so.
That's awesome.
So he says Mookie does about Oklahoma. When I came out here, the style Tubbs is the coach, by the way. The style Tubbs played was right up my alley. I fit in well, and he. Also, they talk about how quiet he is in this article about him about Oklahoma.
It's like he's stoned.
It is. Later on, a PR guy for an NBA team will say that Mookie, quote, might be the quietest player I've ever had. He's really shy, doesn't like to be in the limelight, just goes out and does his job and goes home. Yeah. Just doesn't, like I said, don't even know he's there. Was Mookie here? Is he here? And
so far, it's such a great story. I love this.
It's so, they say, even like the coach said it's not just, as they talked to, Tubbs, the coach, and he said it's not even just the media. A lot of the guys don't want to talk to the media. They give them a quick answer. Yeah. We try our hardest. Hopefully next time we'll do better. It's a good game. Everybody, whole team played well today.
On to next week.
They give him that shit. He goes, he does it to me. He said, I can't get fucking 5 words out of him. He said, literally, I don't know. The kids have been an enigma. Yeah. He said, quote, among all the records that Mookie set while he was a Sooner, the two that will never be broken are fewest words ever spoken to the head coach or the media. He's the opposite of every athlete we talk about.
He won the Bill Belichick of Oklahoma.
Yeah, he's like he's literally like the opposite. We crime in sports. You think of somebody who's like huge ego, flashy, throwing money around and influence, and yapping. Floyd Mayweather is right. You know what I mean? That's what you think of as the automatically a Mayweather type, and then a complete opposite in Mookie Blaylock. It's kind of why we had to do him today. He's a famous guy that's total opposite of what we've been doing. Fewest words ever spoken to the head coach or media. Fucking awesome. So 88-89 is his senior year. Team at Oklahoma here goes 30-6, which is pretty damn good. They go to the tournament as a number 1 seed again, which is fantastic. They win in the first round 72-71.
Wow.
To a 16 seed.
That's not good at all. But it's great that you win.
It's great that you win. East Tennessee State. And you can tell that was a wake-up call. That was like, oh, shit, we thought that'd be easy.
Anybody could beat us.
Yeah, they went out drinking the night before or something, because the next game against Louisiana Tech, they win 124-81. Fucking thumping.
Pouring it on.
43 points. Just saying, we're going to go out 124 in a tournament
how
game.
that scoreboard counts.
Dude, how often do you see 124 in a college game? That's not like quadruple overtime or something. Like, you never see 124 anymore. That's some talent.
Yeah.
Like, think about how much talent's out there. Just NBA players on every team all over the place. And then they end up number 5, Virginia. They play next, and they lose 86-80 there. Okay. And there's something before the tournament, though. He has a bit of a bump in the road that we'll talk about. But we'll give you his stats here quick, because he played in 35 games. He plays 38.8 minutes a game, which is a lot. All of it. 20 points even per game. 20 points, 4.7 rebounds, 6.7 assists.
Wow,
that's impressive.
Yeah.
That's for a point guard. That's a line right there. And he's not like a traditional point guard too. He's kind of didn't fit in as any of the other, but he ends up pretty much just being the point guard after a while. But after the last game of the season before the tournament, they win against Nebraska. And then they must have gone out that night,
of course,
to party, because March 5th, 1989, at about 4 a.m., which is always bad. Yeah. Whenever we start out with, it's about 4 a.m., there's a problem. It's not like he's just got up, ate a couple of, egg whites, and went out for a jog, and then that's never that, and then witnessed a car accident. It's always, he's still out.
He's in college, and it's March. It's bad.
Yeah, it's college.
Is real bad.
He's celebrating the end of the season, tournament coming up, number 1 seed.
Right.
This is his last thing in running college. He's got a lot to celebrate.
4 a.m.
Yeah, so he's going to end up in jail that night, obviously. Clearly. He and Kathy Patterson, a 24-year-old woman of Arlington, Texas here, who is his companion, some chick he knows he's hanging out with, apparently were inside of a convenience store and fighting in the convenience store.
What?
To the point where, they were knocking things over.
What the fuck?
Not in a physical fight, but arguing, and then, getting angry and throwing chips and shit, just acting a fool in the grocery store at 4 a.m. So the clerk is like, Jesus Christ.
Tonight?
Back then, too, I make $2 an hour to sit here and wait to be shot between the eyes for $18 that's in the register, and you fucking assholes have to argue in my store. So this guy calls the cops.
Right.
So, cops come, and they were going to let him go. They said, all right, everybody calm down. You're not allowed in the store. They give him a trespass warning. They don't want you back, so you guys can't come back here.
Oh, Jesus.
The cops tell the one police officer said that Mookie, quote, he displayed the characteristics of an intoxicated person here. So they were going to let him go on that.
Right.
But then they get outside, and apparently they couldn't shut the fuck up and stop arguing outside.
Oh, jeez.
So they go out. They literally were like, okay, you guys just go home and I won't arrest you. And they were like, oh, no, we need to argue in the parking lot of the grocery store. And the police said, no, you don't.
Yeah.
You can continue this when you get out of jail tomorrow. So they arrest him, and he's arrested for public intoxication here.
Ouch.
It's just not good.
No.
It's not a good look for the school.
Not at all.
Because, number one, obviously, they're going into the tournament. They're a number 1 seed. There's a lot of focus on them. But number 2, a bunch of football players just got arrested for drugs recently that season.
No.
Like one got arrested for like selling drugs to an FBI, like an FBI investigation.
You'd think that any athlete at the school would just keep it together.
Yeah, this is like
they're already in trouble.
They're super sensitive about shit right now.
You can't be trouncing all over pork rinds in a 7-Eleven at 4 a.m.
You can't do that shit. Yeah, they're going to let him leave and just get a ride from somebody home, and then change their mind after they wouldn't stop arguing outside. And the police, one of the other police officers, the Lieutenant Leonard Judy, said, quote, "If he had just done what he said he was going to do and got a ride home with this other gentleman, we would have been all right. But when it seems like the only remedy to be the only remedy for what seems like it is going to be a continuing problem, we have very little choice but to go ahead and make an arrest." It makes sense. It's, he said, the cop said, "We're not looking to arrest people for public intoxication. No. Like, we'll tell you to go home, and if you're an asshole, then you have to go to jail." But
it's Oklahoma.
Yeah, we expect you to be drunk.
Right.
Just don't be belligerent about it. When we tell you to go home, say, all right, and then go, all right, and then go home.
Don't have a Pringles food fight.
Yeah, then don't continue to argue.
Right.
So what is the silver-haired middle-aged reaction to this?
Oh, boy.
The coach, it's going into a tournament, though, so they're kind of downplaying it. They really want to win this tournament.
They need him.
So, the coach, Billy Tubbs, he said that he was, quote, it's a standard quote.
Yeah.
Every time when they're trying to, push off a decision till the fervor goes away.
So this is over.
This is what they say. He's, quote, aware of the situation involving Mookie Blaylock, and we're, quote, currently talking with everyone involved to make sure that all the facts have been checked out. In other words, hopefully you'll forget about this, and then we won't have to do anything about it. That's what we're going for. Any chance of that?
But until then, I'm opening up the
silver-haired middle-aged white man.
That man opening up his glossary and index and pairing together a bullshit statement.
What is this? Aware and need to have all the facts. Those are the two. I'm aware.
It's like a Mad Libs.
Yeah, I'm aware, but I don't know all the facts. I'm aware there's a situation.
Yeah.
That's been brought to my attention. Something happened.
I'm aware you guys got an article in the paper.
Facts, though? You know what? We're going to have to come back on that one. I'm not sure. So then he goes on to get even more silver. His hair's changing to silver as he's talking. After we are very sure of everything, then I will meet with Donnie Duncan, I think he's the athletic director, and make the proper decision. Yeah. After we're sure of everything, then he said, most of all, we want this to be handled fairly and not be blown out of proportion by others who are not involved. In other words, when you stop asking me about it, then I'll do something because I don't want to do what you want me to do.
Right.
The athletic director said that they would, quote, have to get the facts before we can comment on a speculative situation. Not a lot of facts.
No.
Shit-faced outside, not listening to the cops, got taken to fucking jail. Not the biggest deal.
Right.
He could have just said, he's a college kid. He was out drinking and him and his girlfriend were arguing and the cops, they wanted to take it. Nobody would have cared. Everyone in Oklahoma knows drunk. Right. They get that.
Is she the volleyball player?
No, this was a different woman.
Oh,
different woman.
It's not even his girlfriend.
No, not his girlfriend. So somebody different. I mean, who knows here?
Don't worry, you guys. He's got more answers to give at home.
That's the other thing.
We don't want to.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. We're going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles.
A big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud.
Sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.
Behind the closed doors of government offices and military compounds, there are hidden stories and buried secrets from the darkest corners of history. From covert experiments pushing the boundaries of science to operations so secretive they were barely whispered about. Each week, on Redacted, Declassified Mysteries, we pull back the curtain on these hidden histories 100% true and verifiable stories that expose the shadowy underbelly of power. Consider Operation Paperclip, where former Nazi scientists were brought to America after World War II, not as prisoners, but as assets to advance U.S. intelligence during the Cold War. These aren't just old conspiracy theories. They're thoroughly investigated accounts that reveal the uncomfortable truths still shaping our world today. The stories are real. The secrets are shocking. Follow Redacted, Declassified Mysteries on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Redacted early and ad-free right now on Wondery Plus.
I don't want to speculate.
Then he says, quote, Billy and I have talking about the coach. What we're trying to do is get all the information in another statement. Same thing. We've not reached a decision or discussed a decision that would affect Mookie and the team. But we have a game in a couple days, so we're definitely not going to make it till after that. So
we're not asking questions either.
I mean, we're not asking questions, right. But if we get the answers, we'll look at them. We're not going to ask about it.
God, no.
But someone, if you have answers or something, you want to slip them in a note in my box.
Put them in the suggestion box.
Put them maybe under my door
We'll
at night.
We'll have a gander at them.
Tell you what, just drop it in any garbage can you see, and I'll find it. Any receptacle around the building.
We got two halves to play. When those are over, we'll
worry
discuss
about
it.
that. Yeah,
we'll look at those scraps of paper.
How long's the tournament last? So later that month, after the tournament, he ends up in court on this and pleads no contest to an amended charge of disturbing the peace, and they give him a 6-month deferred sentence, which is
nothing.
Don't get in trouble when you're off your record here. They end up suspending him for a game. They said, quote, this type of conduct will not be condoned. Not be said with Dave Duncan or Donnie Duncan in a statement here. It's in a postseason tournament though. It's not in the actual tournament. It's in the Big 8 conference postseason tournament.
Okay.
So not quite the same as missing a tournament game. He said it's against Colorado, and this coach says, quote, despite being suspended for the Colorado game, I have confidence in Mookie Blaylock, both as a person and a player. He still is a member of our basketball family, and even though everyone concerned has learned a valuable lesson, we fully support him. Very silver statement right there. We've thought about it, and we picked the game that we're least likely to lose without him, and he's suspended for that.
Yeah.
Now, never again, sir. I think everyone's learned their lesson now. Right? Oh, yeah. They won. Everything was fine. So they get a deferred sentence. It can be erased off his record, like we said. He's also fined $69 in fees and court costs. So,
that's expensive.
But he is an NCAA AP All-America second team this year.
Second team.
That's great. Second best point guard in the nation is what they're saying.
Not bad.
Not too shabby. So all that doesn't really mean much in the NBA either, because they're like, in the NBA, that cop would let you go.
Right.
There's a difference.
Right.
You wouldn't be in that small town. Yeah, they wouldn't be in that small town.
No.
You'll be in the city where everyone's drunk and yelling at each other. It's fine.
He'll drop you off at home and then get that woman that you're yelling at who happens to not be your girlfriend or wife.
Or anybody else.
Too.
And where can he go where everyone's yelling at each other? Where do you think? Well, let's talk about it here. June 27th, 1989 is the NBA draft.
Yeah.
We'll see where he can go, land somewhere where no one, you can yell in the streets at will. Okay. The 89 draft is interesting draft here. It seems like kind of an off year, if I'm being honest.
I'm trying to think of who got drafted in 89.
Number 1 draft pick, Purvis Ellison.
Wow.
Yeah, never nervous Purvis.
It's a decent
Purvis
pick.
is a good player, but not a number 1 overall pick.
No, he's not Michael Jordan.
No, he's a 21 overall player, and you go, that's a good pick. Yeah, he's a solid player for a long time. Real good, but not a formidable MVP candidate.
Did he go to the Clippers?
He went to the Kings.
Okay.
Second overall, Danny Ferry.
Oh, good
Big,
Lord.
goofy, white Danny Ferry of the Clippers.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's...
Jeez. Even when
he was painful to watch, but he didn't even have good stats, but he just looked terrible. I mean, I get it. He's a goofy white guy, but like some goofy white guys didn't look that goofy. Like they could still play. Like he wasn't one of them.
He didn't even when the fashion changed in the NBA thanks to college basketball.
Yeah,
with like the bigger, baggier basketball shorts. It kind of looked cool.
Thank you, Michigan. Thank you, Fab Five, for that shit. Jalen Rose, especially, and Chris Webber. We really, really appreciate that.
He still hung on to the sack chillers and kept wearing them.
Absolutely.
Oh boy,
certain guys did. Him, Stockton.
I hated it.
Yeah, everyone on Utah. We don't want to offend the Mormons. Big shorts offend the Mormons.
Every single Clipper.
Yeah.
No, Clippers kind of start. No, with the Clippers, the Cavs.
Mark Price's shorts were up his ass.
And Brad Doherty had no choice.
No, and he's like 8 feet tall too, so he looked like a goofball in those tiny shorts. But thank you, as 90s teenagers.
Right.
Holy shit, did we appreciate the baggier shorts? Yeah. I never had to wear nut huggers playing basketball. Big old baggy shorts.
The boxer shorts became like a popular thing to wear, and you would not be able to wear those under those fucking tiny Cavs shorts.
Oh God, they'd be sticking out the bottoms of them. You'd have to tuck one under your ball so it wouldn't pop out the side.
I just, for the life of me, cannot understand why they kept doing it.
I get it in the 70s, that was kind of the style, but like even by the 80s, it was like, you're really going to run around.
You keep doing it?
You're going to run around looking like Dangle on Reno 911?
Why would you do it?
What are you doing? Wearing your hot pants? They weren't even shorts, they were hot pants.
Right. So as Daisy Duke started wearing them shorter, that's when men's shorts started getting longer.
Or should have.
Right.
Anyway. There's a delay, unfortunately.
We don't want your hairy ass hanging out. We want her smooth one hanging out.
That's fine.
It looks a lot better.
You put your...
Danny Ferry, your thighs are too hairy.
Put your hairy left ball away. It just fell out of your fucking leg. So Danny Ferry to the Clippers.
Yeah.
Sean Elliott goes to the Spurs,
That's
number 3.
a good pick.
See, it's a good pick there. Glenn Rice, number 4. We've talked about Glenn Rice because he went out with a vice presidential candidate here. J.R. Reed, number 5, was a pretty good player with Charlotte there. Stacey King, his teammate, goes to the Bulls, number 6. George McLeod. Remember George McLeod?
He also played for the Hornets.
George McLeod, he got drafted by the Pacers. Yeah, he was a fucking good player.
Yeah.
He was on the Suns for a while, George McLeod.
Was he really?
He ended up on the Suns for a while. Yeah, he was a good player, George. Randy White, Tom Hammonds, Pooh Richardson.
Oh yeah,
getting Pooh.
Did they get Pooh Richardson and who went before him?
Tom Hammonds went to the Bullets.
Okay,
and then Pooh Richardson to the Timberwolves, who are a new team. And then the first pick of the Orlando Magic is Nick Anderson. This year as well.
That's their expansion draft.
That's their first overall. That's their guy.
Pick.
And Nick Anderson was a solid player for years for them, and except for those free throws. But yeah, good coach now.
Poor
bastard, man. That documentary they get on, and you could just see it. His whole, it hurt him, man.
Fell apart.
Certain guys, he was like Rick Ankiel that couldn't hit the fucking, catcher's mitt or something. He just lost it, man. He knob-blocked those free throws.
He crushed three-pointers
He was
all
a great free throw shooter, too. That's the other thing. He was an over 80% free throw shooter. Missed 4 in a row and then was never a good free throw shooter for the rest of his career. It's weird. Number 12 overall, Mookie Blaylock is chosen perfectly by a team where it's perfectly fine to yell in the streets at any hour of the day.
Nets?
The New Jersey Nets.
Okay,
there you go. Oh! Shut the fuck up down there. That's fine. No one's calling the cops. Just do that.
I didn't realize he was drafted by them.
You call the cops in Newark and say, someone's yelling. They'd be like, are they shooting? No? Okay, good. Tell them thank you and hang up.
They're probably on our team.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Scream back, thank you for not killing each other, and then hang up on, this is ridiculous. Shut up. So you were allowed to do that. 14 overall is Tim Hardaway, who was a great player for a long time. Dana Barros, 16. 17, this is a pick that somebody could have done better. Sean Kemp, 17.
Really?
I mean, if you picked, say, J.R. Reed and not
if you
number
picked
5,
Purvis Ellison,
a power forward, and not Sean Kemp, who would have made
fucking
an immediate impact.
Yeah.
I mean, Kemp was a fucking monster when he came out. Oh, and in the first few years, he was a force.
Right now.
Holy shit,
and he was
nasty.
18.
Oh, he was a fucking monster.
Yeah.
He was awesome. Lucky for him, he didn't have to go to Sacramento.
No.
Not that Sacramento's bad, but in terms of you don't hear a lot about them.
Very few.
Not a lot of
kings that were superstars.
Yeah. Mitch Richmond.
Right.
Anyone else from that era that I can think of?
Was Baker there for a little bit? Vin Baker?
I don't even think so. Milwaukee. That's later though.
Yeah.
B.J. Armstrong goes after him to the Bulls. Vlade Divac, the end of the round.
Did Sean Kemp get drafted by the Sonics?
Yeah, by the Sonics.
And he stayed there the whole time.
He left at the end.
He did.
He was bouncing around when he was fat.
Right.
He could barely dunk anymore.
It's depressing.
He used to be able to touch the top of the backboard, and then he was 6'11", he could barely dunk because he was so fat. He got so fat that was so sad to watch.
And it's still not good today.
No, it's not
today
good.
Today it doesn't look great.
He'll have an episode too. He had some problems, and he has the most kids of anybody, I think, of anybody. He probably has 40 juniors running around out there. Man, it's a shame. So Vlade Divac's there, Sherman Douglas, guys like that in the second round. Cliff Robinson, the steal of the draft, though. Second round, 36th overall. Portland picks up Cliff Robinson, which is a great player for a long time here. Other guys not even drafted that year. Chris Childs, another point guard, shooting guard, lefty. The Knicks had him for a while. I think he played in Canada for a little while, too. One of those guys. Jaren Jackson, too, from Georgetown.
I don't remember him.
He was around for a while. He was a shooting guard.
Okay.
He was all right.
Jaren
Jackson.
Jaron?
E-N. Yeah. 89-90. He's with the Nets here. This is a team has Sam Bowie, who's kind of, not what they thought he was going to be. Rick Carlisle, who's a coach later on, shit like that. Jaren Jackson gets drafted. Anthony Mason on this team.
Really?
So Crime and Sports, alumni here. So yeah, it's not a terrific team, these early Nets teams. I don't know if you remember these Nets teams, but I lived there and I loved watching basketball. And when the next Nets game was on, you can't watch it for more than like 8 minutes.
No.
Like, this is fucking pathetic.
Yeah.
No one cares. No one's watching.
Even when Coleman was there, it was still lackluster.
Yeah, it wasn't great. But he's insanely quiet, Mookie. Unless he's outside with a woman at 4 a.m, he's a very quiet man.
That's a great point. Going against his character there.
Yeah, he's walking around Newark with a lip full of dip and a toothpick hanging out of his mouth too. Total Texas, Oklahoma guy, super quiet, spitting chaw on the ground, which is a very odd thing in Newark.
Yeah.
And no one knows what to make of him. He's just super quiet. Sam Bowie, who's a friend of his, says, quote, teammate, he says, quote, Mookie had no problem being in a room with 5 or 6 other guys and never uttering a word.
That's so wild.
It's just Mookie. He's just like I said. He's still here. Okay.
What are you here for?
Assist and defense, just under the radar. So, I mean, even his game is like his personality. That's why I love basketball.
Yeah.
Your game has a direct relation to your personality.
Right.
There's no other sport other than fighting that's like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
In football, it's a very, once you get to the end zone, you can do some shit.
Right.
But in the game, everybody looks like robots. They all have to do the same motions because it's 3 steps and then here because the timing is perfect with the other guy. Basketball is like the only
Michael Jordan might be the only guy
that's like jazz like that.
Yeah,
he
might be the only guy that, other than Mookie, that's like his personality does not mesh as well with his. Yeah, on court he's flash and loud and
tongue hanging out, making gestures in your face, talking shit, and off the court he's like, "Well, I have no opinions on anything. Buy Gatorade and Hanes and." Thank you very much.
I've got a new shoe coming out in the fall.
I'm late for my board meeting. Hold on. Goodbye. See ya. Bye. I don't know. Ask Mookie.
Right.
Fucking crazy. So, he's super shy. And the media, it's a New York area media. So there's a shitload of media there. That was when there were still newspapers and talk radio and all this shit. So you're getting asked a lot of questions all the time. And this was just... from a kid went to community college in Texas and goes to Oklahoma and is the quiet guy that stays back and doesn't even talk to the coach. Like, this is a lot for him.
Fish out of water.
Overwhelming, basically. They'd put him on the spot. They try to kind of, they wanted a story about the new kid, and he just didn't have any. He plays solid, fundamental ball and doesn't say shit. It's really not a lot to write about, Make this flower open up. Yeah, that's it. One of his friends said, quote, he had unpolished social skills and didn't want to make himself look bad. So he's basically like one of these Japanese players that has spotty English, and so they use a translator even though they speak English. Mm-hmm. They don't want to sound stupid. Right. Even though they're smart enough to know Japanese and English.
Worse over, English is his first language, and he's coming from the South and small towns. He doesn't want to feel like a dummy.
It's not only that, it's social. He just feels like he's out of place, and he's quiet anyway. Even with his friends, he's quiet. So media asking him questions, putting him on the spot is not his thing. Even he's hanging out with people he's comfortable with, he doesn't want to say much. So
wild,
otherwise. So he said he really didn't like. His friend said that he hated how, because most of the reporters back then, but now it's different, but back then especially, they were 98% white. All these sports reporters, and he would tell his friends that they would take the words of the black players out of context to make them sound dumb, and he didn't like that. Well, he thought that he was afraid of saying anything and having it be taken out of context and making him sound stupid.
I could see what he means.
Oh, absolutely, especially back then. Yeah, that was a different type of thing. Right. So he was leery of it, and I think he had also been told that by people, and so I think he was kind of
That is very interesting because you and I, being the ages that we're at, we were very black culture was kind of given to us openly and very much
accepted it. Yeah, when we were kids.
You celebrate it, and you don't
like any other. It was just American culture.
You don't see that there's a separation and a divide, but the generation gap.
Especially if you grow up. I grew up in New York. It was just
right. And in the '60s, he experiences and probably
and down south.
Oh my God,
it's a different story.
What he's experienced has probably been crazy.
He's driven through. I mean, especially around Oklahoma and the South, going to these other towns to play high school games. You're driving through sundown towns. You know what I mean? We're literally you can't be like that's fucking crazy. That's a different thing.
I can't believe that at 38 years old, I just recognize that right now.
If you're like,
and I'm having sympathy for Mookie.
If you were like raised in Westchester and went to like some Northeast college and all that kind of shit, and you don't even know this guy, you don't know this guy's experience and how he's gonna, there's no way for you to relate to him, and so that's why sometimes I think that they end up making guys sound stupid on purpose,
right?
Or maybe not even on purpose,
just like throwing the words in that they say, but like spelling them stupid, so that
there's a lot of that too. When you see that, there's a shitload of
there really is.
They really try to.
They take that
push the
slang
difference.
Lingo and like fucking really push it in front of you.
It happens a lot. It really is. You'd see that a lot. So I mean, he was aware of it and he was worried about it. The team, though, the team should have worried about what was going on the court, because no wonder why the press had so many questions. Because they were 17-65 that year. So
wow,
they should have the only question should have been, why are you guys terrible?
Why are you guys one of the worst teams ever?
This is fucking are you embarrassed? Are you embarrassed?
How many teams have lost more games?
Well, we'll put it this way, from seeing that documentary, I think I remember that was the Magic's first season and they won 14 games that year.
Ouch.
In their first season.
Oh my
with
God.
a bunch of just cast-offs. Reggie Theus was their star. Literally was their star. So that says a lot there. And this team won 3 more games, so that tells you a lot. Mookie plays in 50 games. He starts 17 of them, 25.3 minutes a game. That's a lot for a rookie. That's not bad here. He's a solid player. 10.1 points a game. He's got 1.6 steals a game, which becomes his specialty. 4.2 assists, 2.8 rebounds. Good, solid young point guard. Looks like a good mid-first round pick.
He's certainly usable.
Not too shabby. Now, it's around this time, the 89-90. It's actually 91. We'll talk about it in particular, but Pearl Jam, band Pearl Jam, is forming around this time.
Right.
Okay. Their bassist is a guy named Jeff Ament. I'm not sure how you say that. I guess he and Eddie Vedder are sports fans, and you know Eddie Vedder's at a ton of sports games. Loves the Cubs. They're also really big basketball fans.
Really?
Yeah, it's super weird. And they used to open packs of like basketball cards while they were on the road, and while they would be like doing shitty gigs. That's what they would do, like in the car. Like they'd stop at the store and get
grab a couple $1.39 packs.
Literally, grab a couple packs of Tops or Fleer or whatever the hell they had out. They'd open some shit up because they liked looking through them, which that's awesome. So they did that, and I guess they would open these packs, and the bass player here said, one of the cards that went to my manager and ended up in a cassette, I guess they would stick cards that they liked in cassette cases.
Oh.
Because they fit about the same size. And I guess they gave them to their manager for some reason. One of them was Mookie's card. And fast forward a couple of weeks, he says, we got offered the Alice in Chains tour on the West Coast when they first started out. And the cassette they didn't have a band name yet. Pearl Jam. They weren't Pearl Jam. They were nobody. They just got Eddie Vedder. They were just like this new band that they were trying to figure out who they were, but they got offered a spot on this tour. They were like, well, we need a fucking name. So they said the cassette was sitting up on the desk, and somebody said, what about Mookie Blaylock? So the group was like, yeah, we like his name. He's fucking solid on the court. He's real fundamentally sound. That's like what we're like. Let's call ourselves Mookie Blaylock. So Pearl Jam's original name is fucking Mookie Blaylock. Did you know that?
I did.
That's a fact. They went as Mookie Blaylock for a while.
And that was why.
Until it became a problem that he was famous point guard.
Yeah.
So it was like, you can't say, this band and Mookie Blaylock. They'll be like, Mookie Blaylock's a musician? Like, you can't just call yourself the same name as somebody famous.
It's like a jazz band picking Wayman Tisdale.
That's what I mean.
He plays too.
Oh, shit. Wayman, Wayman. Hey, where's Wayman? You guys said Wayman Tisdale's going to be playing jazz tonight. I don't fucking see him.
I'll see him anywhere.
Where is he?
Matter of fact, he's playing right now.
Oh, shit, Mookie's here? I didn't hear him say shit. He didn't talk, so I don't know he's here. So, Mookie Blaylock there. So, 90-91, Greg Anderson's on the team, Sam Bowie. Judd Bushler comes over.
Oh, boy.
Good God, Judd Bushler. Fuck, that's
How
brutal.
long did he stay in the league?
Judd Bushler, a while. He was on the Bulls.
He was.
He just
when they were
around.
good.
Yeah, he's only 6'6", too. I could see if he was kind of a body that could go down and at least he's good for fouls or something. But
he played so ugly.
Bushler, man. Derek Coleman comes on the team here. Chris Dudley, you want to talk about playing ugly?
Yeah.
Chris Dudley's maybe the ugliest offensive player in the history of the NBA. He's a
big, clumsy.
Big and clumsy. He's a Yale educated. He's from Yale.
Fuck out of this league.
Odd.
We got nowhere for you, sir.
Don't get a lot of 6'11" centers from Yale. Good defender, though.
Yeah.
Hell of a defender here. But this team is Reggie Theus comes here as well.
Kidding.
And Drazen Petrovic as well.
He was great.
He was great, poor guy. So the 90-91 New Jersey Nets go 26-56. An improvement, but not much.
No.
It's pretty fucking terrible. And their attendance is 24th out of 27 teams in the league. Because nobody gives a shit. No. They're in the biggest market, and they can't get people there because who cares? Who fucking cares? So that year, though, 72 games for Mookie. Starts 70 of them. Now he's a beast. 35.9 minutes a game. Nasty. 14.1 points per game. Now he's up to 3.5 rebounds, 6.1 assists, and 2.3 steals a game. This is a starter, man. That's a starting, watch your ass, he'll pick your pocket point guard. That's pretty good.
I was watching basketball religiously at this point. I don't see him on the Nets at all.
No, that's all. It's all Hawks in your head. Yeah.
I don't even see him in that fucking jersey.
No, to me, that for some reason, that 88 to 91 period, I don't remember basketball watching it that much in that period. Right. But then starting 92 was every game I could see I watched. So I don't know.
That logo for the Nets too was
it's terrible.
It didn't say Nets to me. It had a fucking sharp end, there was a blade coming out of it. Do you know what I mean?
Well, they had the hoop with
right.
Yeah.
But the letters were spelled in almost knife blades.
Yeah, it's a stupid
Welcome
looking
to
team.
Jersey.
Welcome to Newark. Take this blade with you.
Right.
So $525,000 he makes there. Now 1991, August 27th, 1991, Pearl Jam releases their first album. You know what the name of the album was, Jimmy? Do you remember?
Mookie Blaylock.
No, it wasn't.
No. Did they have a song on it called Mookie Blaylock?
Nope. The album was called 10. Oh. Do you know what Mookie Blaylock's jersey number is?
Is that right? Is that the reason?
It's 10.
That's
his whole
why.
career his jersey's number is 10.
How about that?
Yeah, it's a tribute to Mookie Blaylock.
Did they have a song called Mookie Blaylock too? I think
not on the record. I don't think. Not on the first album.
I know that there's so much involved with Mookie with them because of that.
Because of that. Yeah,
I didn't know the 10 was that.
Later on, we'll say it now. Later on, Mookie, when he's in a game in Seattle, the bass player comes and does a shoot around with him, and they play horse and shit.
Unreal.
And the bass player said couldn't have been nicer to him. Treated him great. Even said he had nice rotation on his shot. He said, which was the biggest compliment he could have ever gotten. He was walking on air after that, which I thought was hilarious.
That's unreal.
This guy was so excited to go play horse with Mookie Blaylock. They've sold. Their first album went 16-time diamond. You know what that is?
How
That's
many is that?
32 million albums or some crazy shit. I saw it on the thing. I was 16 times diamond. What the fuck is that?
They made more money off that album than Mookie made in his career.
Oh my God. All their albums are 47-time platinum. You're Jesus. How many albums these guys sell? For fuck's sake. So 91-92 season, they finished 40-42, the Nets. So they're getting better. Not too shabby. They go all the way to the playoffs with a losing record. Which tells you how shitty the NBA playoffs were sometimes when you'd have 40-42 against the Cleveland Cavaliers and their slow it down offense. So that is boring as balls. They lose that series 3-1 and they're gone quickly. But Mookie plays in 72 games, starts 67 of them, 13.8 points a game. He's got 3.7 rebounds, 6.8 assists, 2.4 steals. So the points go down a little drop, but everything else goes up. So he's killing it. $575,000 for him that year too. Which 91-92.
It's a second year.
Yeah, that's It's good money now.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's almost fucking over $500,000. It's good money now.
Starting point guard, though, that's
91, 92. It's a rookie because he's a mid-first rounder. Yeah. So, you're negotiating.
That's rookie year money.
That's rookie year. This is his rookie contract. Yeah. He's going to, I think it's a 3-year because he'll get more money here soon. Okay. November 3rd, 1992, right in the beginning of the season of 92, 93, the next year, he is traded by the Nets with Roy Hinson, who's a 14.2 point per game forward who doesn't play anymore after this trade. I think it was a salary dump, probably one of those things, to the Atlanta Hawks for Ramil Robinson. So
that I see. I see Ramil there.
Yes, exactly. And so this Atlanta team, this is the team you'd recognize from the 90s. Stacey Augmon, Dominique Wilkins, Kevin Willis, and his Easter Island egghead, or Easter Island statue head.
He had a huge dick.
How do you know that?
Because I had a basketball card. I've said this on the show where he was dunking and his dick is so prevalent in his shorts.
Yeah, that's right.
As a child, I was like, my Christ, they get that big?
Jesus Christ. My God.
I can't wait to be an adult.
This is going to be awesome.
And then no.
Didn't happen for you.
I'm not Kevin fucking Willis.
No, you're not a 7 foot tall giant black guy.
Right. With a head with a dick to match.
Oh, dude. His head matches his dick then because his head is it's huge. It's oddly shaped. Right. It's just this he's a scary looking dude because he's just enormous.
Big
holy
block
shit.
Head with a big block dick.
Great player though. He's a really solid player. Also on this team, John Koncak, the goofiest of the goofy white centers. That was Atlanta signed him to that. Do you remember that contract?
No.
They gave him this big, huge contract that was like a record contract to John Koncak.
Who the fuck owned the Hawks?
It's known as Ted Turner.
It was Ted Turner. It is known as
Ted Turner on the Hawks by now.
And he gave that fucking man
John Koncak. I feel like John Koncak's like this. He's a 7 foot guy, and he was like a blonde guy who looked like a congressman. Yeah. He was like so I feel like he went up to Ted Turner's office, had a chat with him, and they were like, "This guy's a solid guy. I'm giving him. Everyone's gonna love him, except the fact that he sucks."
Yes.
It's known as one of the worst 10 contracts in NBA history.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Every list of them. It's on there. Why would you give him anything? He's John Koncak.
Fucking jerk got into NBA Jam.
He did. This was the time when NBA money was exploding, and you just didn't want to lose free agents, so you gave him money, and it was fucking crazy. So John Koncak on the squad there.
God damn it.
So the Hawks that year, 43-39. They go to the playoffs. Unfortunately for them, it is against the Bulls, and they were not to be stopped that year.
It wasn't the Bulls, it was going to be the Knicks.
It
wasn't the Knicks. It was going to be the
Pacers.
Fucking anybody that's way better than them.
That's tough. Even Cleveland back then. But the Bulls, this was the year they beat the Suns in 6 in the finals, and it was going to happen for them this year. So they sweep Cleveland, they sweep Atlanta this year. Poor Dominique.
Was Steve Smith there too?
Steve Smith, was he here yet? No, he was not. He was not here yet. Okay. No. Later on, I think the next year, because then he was on the Olympic team in 96, from Atlanta. So 43-49 the next year, losing to the Bulls, but 78 games started for Mookie. He does just fine. 13.4 points. Jesus Christ. 3.5 rebounds, 8.4 assists, 2.5 steals a game.
Unbelievable.
So he went 2.3, 2.4, 2.5. Yeah. His D is nasty.
It is.
Absolutely nasty. $660,000 a year for him that year. Not too shabby. 93-94. Things start to get interesting, we'll just say, for old Mookie and everything. The Hawks are pretty good. They are 57-25. First in their division. They win in the first round of the playoffs, actually, against the Heat. They beat them 3-2, and then they lose to the Pacers 4-2, which the Pacers were...
Oh, boy, were they good.
God, were they tough in the playoffs in the 90s.
You can't beat Reggie Miller, man. He's not going to beat him.
Son of a bitch, that Reggie Miller. He really is. Now, Mookie, on the other hand, starts 81 games. Top notch, 13.8 points a game, 5.2 rebounds. So that went up a rebound and a half. 9.7 assists a game, went up over a whole assist. 2.6 steals, 2.3, 2.4, 2.5, 2.6.
He's doing great.
Getting better every year. He is NBA first all defensive team.
No kidding.
Which is amazing because Gary Payton was in the league back then. So he beat out Gary Payton for that spot.
Wow.
Who's known as the glove for being such a sticky defender. And he also makes the All-Star all-star team.
How about that?
You know how hard it was in the 90s to make the all-star team in basketball?
Yeah.
Every guy on the team is a household name.
Right.
Like everybody.
Yeah. Alonzo Mourning.
It's going to be, Charles Barkley,
right.
Michael Jordan.
Larry Johnson.
It's crazy how well. Let's look at the roster.
The East was so stacked with talent.
Look at the rosters here. There's some injuries, so that kind of whatever. But B.J. Armstrong, Kenny Anderson, Scottie Pippen, Derek Coleman, Shaquille O'Neal, Mookie Blaylock, Patrick Ewing, Horace Grant, Alonzo Mourning, Charles Oakley, Mark Price, Dominique Wilkins.
Jesus.
There's a fucking squad right there,
Can
man.
You imagine?
That is crazy. That's
like a little boy's dream of a lunch in the afternoon, just with all those guys.
It's not. Well, listen to the West.
Yeah.
The West is even sicker.
Karl Malone, David
the West
Robinson.
is 90% Hall of Fame. Let's see, or should be.
Yeah.
Drexler.
Yep.
Clyde Drexler,
right.
legend. Mitch Richmond,
yep.
beast. Charles Barkley,
yep.
Sean Kemp, Hakeem Olajuwon. Think about that starting five. Drexler, Richmond, Barkley, Kemp, Olajuwon. That's insanity.
Anybody would love to have that today. And we got to watch that in their prime, James.
That's just teams of legends. It's like just legend team stock. That's what we watched every week.
Yeah.
It was so great.
Who was the center for that?
Hakeem Olajuwon.
Yeah.
It's like one of the best of all time.
Or David Robinson.
The reserves that year. Listen to the reserves. The reserves are like just Kevin Johnson, amazing. Karl Malone.
Yep.
Danny Manning, Gary Payton, Cliff Robinson, David Robinson, Latrell Sprewell, John Stockton.
That is your backup.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Hall of Famers that I know of on the bench.
Unreal.
On just the reserves.
That will play when these guys get tired.
Yeah, and the starters, I think 3 Hall of Famers, and Mitch Richmond, who was a great player, and Sean Kemp, who was a fucking monster back then. So, yeah, this is a crazy thing to be on the bench there would be insane. I wouldn't even want to talk.
They started Charles Barkley and Sean Kemp together.
Yeah, Barkley and Kemp.
And Hakeem.
Imagine that.
Did the East win? There's no way they fucking won.
I don't know the final score of the game.
There's no way they won.
Well,
That's
Shaq
all rebounds.
It's Shaq and Ewing on the other side with Derek Coleman and Scottie Pippen.
Okay.
So the D on Pippen, too, is rough. I mean, Barkley-Pippen's a rough matchup. That's
so
weird.
Much fun. What a great weekend.
I would pay to watch that. He makes that year, too. Mookie, after a pay raise, makes $1,630,000.
He broke $1 million.
He got $1 million raise that year, so he's got to be feeling great right now. All-star, all legends, Grace. It's right. I mean, come on. Where's it go from here, Jimmy? Come on. I mean, you just got $1 million raise and played on a team with a bunch of legends.
So cool.
I'd be embarrassed to be on those teams almost. I'd be like, this is embarrassing. I don't belong here.
As Mookie Blaylock, I'd be embarrassed.
That's what I mean. If you're Mookie Blaylock, or John Starks is also on the East. So
he's the second worst player on the team.
He's the second worst player. Exactly. No, he is. Absolutely. Yeah, B.J. Armstrong. Him and B.J. were comparable.
Tied. Yeah.
B.J. just made it on votes because the Bulls.
Because he had a better 3-point shot.
No, the Bulls were champions. That's why, and they were popular.
Yeah.
So that's why. And Kenny Anderson also making the team.
He's great.
They start 2-point guards.
He was so good.
So anyway, Kenny though, Mookie, not Kenny.
Yep.
Mookie loves, if there's things he loves in this world, he might love his toothpick, and he might love
his chaw.
He might love his girl.
Yeah.
He might love basketball, but he loves weed.
Really?
He loves weed,
favorite?
which I'm not going to hold against him out here.
Yeah.
He also loves booze, but around basketball, he really loves weed. He is stoned pretty much every game he ever plays.
Really?
He smokes before the game.
No kidding.
Yes, as a lot of people do. A lot of guys do. Now, I would like to posit this to you, all right? Now, I understand scientifically people look and think, marijuana will slow down your reflexes and do all that. He is the top defense. He's a first team All-NBA He beat Gary Payton. Yeah. He's the best defensive point guard on the floor, which he's covering the quickest, fastest player.
Right.
So his reaction times have to be remarkable.
Lightning.
To not just get blown by on everything. To be the top defender in that and be stoned.
Yeah.
I got to say, I think weed helps some people.
Thinking
just
about
does.
it, whenever I'm stoned, time kind of goes by slower. So when somebody's dribbling in front of you, maybe the ball goes at a slower speed and you're able to see it and be able to pick somebody's pocket.
In high
Weed
school,
helps somebody who steals the ball.
No, in high school, I used to smoke weed constantly before I played basketball, and you see things completely different.
Yeah.
Basketball's a fast-moving game.
It is.
And especially if you're a guy like Mookie who's a little more introverted, I think he wants to slow the fucking thing down.
Yeah.
Weed gives you see angles with weed, too.
Yeah.
You'll see angles. He can't do this because I got this. It's just different. You start to see the geometry in front of you lay out. Like this pass can go here and the angle on it, or it just works. It's super weird. I don't know what it is, but some people would just be confused and walking around, the ball hit them in the head. They'd be like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But some people, that's how weed affects them. Weed affects some people in the way of extreme focus, and they put together 3-hour stories about assholes.
I guarantee you would get along
for 4 years
with Mookie Blaylock.
I think we'd be okay, at least at this point in his career. A former Hawks ball boy, who later on becomes one of Mookie's best friends, a guy named Danny Solomon, said about him, this is awesome, coming from like one of his best friends, this is great. Quote, he was one of the few NBA players who could smoke marijuana and play the best 48 minutes you've ever seen. And he was doing it for so long that it took a lot to have an effect. Yeah. So he was smoking a shitload before games too. He was taking like 2 hits and being like, all right, I'm focused. Right. He had to let's
having a whole sesh.
Roll him up. Right. Yeah. And then, all right, let's get out there on the floor.
He's going out to the tip stinking.
Yeah. Let's get out to the floor and shut down fucking,
Gary Payton.
Let's let Kevin Johnson not drive to the hoop and dish out to Barkley on me. Like, that's crazy. It's literally crazy. We're playing Michael Jordan tonight. Better get super stoned. Think about that. And it works for him.
It did.
Fucking A. That's great.
He made the playoffs with that fucking mentality.
I get it. I know pre-gaming. Trust me. If you've seen a live show, you understand.
Have you ever gotten a message out of the blue? Maybe you ignore them. Or maybe you end up in conversation. Maybe they tell you about an amazing offer.
I can really show you how to make some money.
And maybe that gets you into a lot of trouble. But this isn't a story about people like you, the people receiving these messages. This is a story about the people behind the messages, on the other end of the line. Thousands of them, working in a micro-city built for scammers. From Wondery, the makers of Dr. Death and Kill List, comes Scam Factory, a new series about survival at the expense of others. Follow Scam Factory on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Scam Factory early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.
He was hip-hop's biggest mogul, the man who redefined fame, fortune, and the music industry.
The first male rapper to be honored on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy built an empire and lived a life most people only dream about.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But just as quickly as his empire rose, it came crashing down.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I made no excuses. I'm disgusted. I'm so sorry.
Until you're wearing an orange jumpsuit, it's not real. Now it's real.
From his meteoric rise to his shocking fall from grace, from law and crime, this is the rise and fall of Diddy. Listen to the rise and fall of Diddy exclusively with Wondery Plus.
Same thing. So he's got his things. Yeah. 1994, he has his son. He has a child, I should say, or 2, because they're twins.
Oh no!
He has twin boys, Zach and
Mookie?
Darren.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Darren.
Yeah, Darren.
Darren or Darren? Is it Darren?
I think it's Darren.
It might be Darren.
But there's no apostrophe or anything, so I'm going to go Darren.
Or a little E,
and
big
he's from
R?
the South, so I'm going to go Darren.
Yeah.
Darren, which I assume is Junior.
You bet.
There we go.
Poor
Twins.
Zach.
Problem is, though,
gotta look at that motherfucker every day.
you get the name. Thanks. But they turn out fine.
Yeah.
We'll just say that ahead of time.
They're great.
They break the curse here.
Okay.
He'll have 5 kids altogether, though.
Okay.
5, all good athletes, by the way. All of them. The boys, the girls, everybody. Good athletes all around.
Okay.
So he chose well in terms of who to hook up with here. Now, 94-95, the Atlanta Hawks finish 42-40, and they go to the playoffs again, and they lose to the Pacers, and they get swept. So Pacers were nasty. What are you going to do? 94-95 for Mookie, though. 80 games, starts all of them, 38.4 minutes a game, 17.2 points a game, which is career high for him, 4.9 rebounds, 7.7 assists, 2.5 steals. Damn fine season for Mookie. NBA first all-defensive team.
First again.
And he makes $2.1 million.
Now you're talking.
Fucking Mookie's doing fantastic,
The man's
right?
made over $4 million.
He's doing well. He's having twins. He's really every year he's getting better at his craft.
He's been in the playoffs 3 times.
He's been recognized as like an all-star. People know who he is now. There's a Pearl Jam's naming fucking albums after him and bands and shit.
The man got out of New Jersey.
Life is good right now. Until 1995, January 11th of 1995 to be exact, when 4:33 a.m., again, never going to be something good. 4:33 a.m., he rescued a child from a burning building.
Right.
It's never that.
4:33, and they finished Game 7 of the championship, and he wins.
He bravely scaled the outside of the wall to rescue.
Right.
This is after he hit the winning shot in the game. No, he's on Delk Road. I don't know where that is. And Cobb police clocked him at going 80 miles an hour in a 55-mile-an-hour stretch.
That's in Atlanta.
They have I-75. There's Atlanta. Okay.
Yeah.
When they also pulled him over and they find an open beer can in there. He's got an open can of beer, and so they pull him out, and they're going to charge him with DUI. And then they also found a little wood box in there.
Yep.
When they open the little wood box, they find rolling papers and literally some shake in the box.
It's already
not
gone.
even in a bag. It's like some shit
This is
that's
dug out.
It's he was rolling. He's rolling over that, and whatever falls out of the sides lands in there, so you get like a little bit of shake in the fuck. That's what I just from experience. That's what you would do. So the police arrest him for possession of marijuana too. Then because it's Georgia in the 80s and 90s. Yeah, and the particles. They said, "quote the particles have been sent to the state crime lab for analysis."
Wow.
Okay.
How dopey of a cop you got to be.
Hey, guess what? If you lived in Georgia and paid taxes in the 90s, you paid for someone to send a fucking sample of shake to the state lab for analysis. How about going in the box and go, that's gone now. It's all gone. So DUI, back on that part. Who fucking cares?
Right.
It's a state. You know how much money this is fucking costing people? Are we kidding? What
for
the
quote
fuck?
Unquote particles.
Unbelievable. Not even like we found what we think is 5 kilos of cocaine. We're going to have it analyzed quick so we can charge. No, this is stupid. Whatever it is, it's gone. Jesus fucking Christ. The process takes 1 to 3 weeks, because they're backed up with fucking
rape kits
and forensics from murder scenes and shit
cocaine
of that nature.
And meth.
Good Lord.
Jesus.
So
Heroin.
The press asked him about this, and he denies that he was intoxicated or that he was drinking while driving. He said, quote, I stopped off, I had a beer, I wasn't drunk. That's it. He said that can had been in my car for some time, was in there for a long time, forgot that shit was even there, which that's possible. He said, quote, the only thing I have to be sorry about is I was speeding. I should have never been doing that. Okay. True. Whatever, though. It's not the end of the world. He couldn't be reached for comments here. Apparently, at that point, marijuana possession is a misdemeanor in Georgia, but still carries up to 12 months in jail and $1,000 fine.
God.
Mostly you'll get probation unless you keep getting busted, but still, it's fucking stupid. He took a blood test, and they're going to deal with all of this shit. And the general manager said the team will take no action pending adjudication of the case. So, in other words, we're going to get all the facts.
Once we get the facts,
then we're going to talk to him and talk to all parties involved. Right. And after it dies down, we'll forget all about it. Right. Okay, have a good one.
Facts got to go through the filters.
You know how it goes. And we're going to see what we believe, obviously, and what's more advantageous to us.
Right.
The coach here, Lenny Wilkins, you know who Lenny Wilkins is. He's a legendary player, and I think he's the winningest. Did Phil Jackson beat him?
He's got to be.
Lenny Wilkins, I know at one point was the winningest coach in the history of the NBA as far as wins go. But I think Larry Brown passed pass him or something. There was a few at the top, but
there might be.
He's an amazing coach. He coached forever.
The old coach, the gangster-ass coach from the Knicks,
Pat Riley.
He
but he stopped and was like in front offices forever.
But he was
here
at
and
the
there.
fucking Heat for so long.
Yeah, he was, but still, he would stop for 5 years and shit. Lenny Wilkins just coached for like 30 years straight.
But Riley got to play in fucking Miami, or got to coach in Miami when LeBron was there.
Yeah, all those wins in the 80s with the Lakers too.
Yeah.
But he said that Blaylock, when he heard about this, he sat him down for a lecture. I'm going to talk to this young man. I'm going to talk to Coach Wilkins. I'm going to talk to this young man. And he said, it's ridiculous. Wilkins said that Blaylock, quote, he talked to him when that's all taken care of, and he said that Blaylock, quote, was serious about his play. He's always on time, and he's receptive to coaching. I enjoy coaching him.
Yeah.
That's it. Not anything else about the don't get arrested or anything. He just said he's serious about playing.
He accepted this coach's words.
Good for him. Yeah. Nice job. So 95-96 here, the Atlanta Hawks, they finished 46 and 36. They go to the playoffs. They beat the Pacers.
They finally got
them 3-2 in a 5-game series. And then they go to play the Magic in 95-96 with Shaq running. Penny. Shaq back then was like in shape.
Yeah.
Like now everybody pictures fat Shaq. Right. You see Shaq on TV. He's just big, giant.
Even when he was at the Lakers, he was fat.
He was a big, like, stocky guy. This was when Shaq looked like he was 6'6", but he was actually 7'1". But he had the body of an athletic 6'6" guy. He'd run like a deer down that floor, dive for loose balls. He was so athletic. It was amazing. Yeah, he was fast. He could run. He was awesome. And Penny was. People don't know Penny Hardaway.
Yeah,
like
it's a goddamn shame.
It's a shame they don't, because he got injured and he kind of went away. And unless you grew up in that era, you're like, I don't know. Anthony's a stupid name, but I don't know what the fuck. Penny Hardaway.
He's unbelievable.
He was so good. Yeah. He was one of the top players in the league. He was amazing for a while there.
Sprite commercial that everybody knew.
He had Chris Rock was the voice of Little Penny. I mean, think about that. But he was just so good. He's a 6'9" point guard that was smooth and could shoot and dunk and pass. He was nasty. So they lose in 5 games to the Magic. The Hawks do. Mookie doesn't get a lot of credit. He just doesn't. He's a quiet guy. Yeah. And the NBA, like most sports, is a flashy league. Right. And unless you're winning championships, if you're quiet and you win championships, everyone will notice you. But if you're quiet and you don't win championships, you just kind of fall below the wayside. There's a lot of loud voices out there.
Right.
So, one of his friends said here, quote, you never hear about it because he doesn't have the fanfare. He just gets it done and he goes home, which is what you should do. You shouldn't have to be a commercial, shouldn't have to have a commercial to be recognized. But sad to say, that's the way it is now.
Yeah.
Which is true.
That's actually a fascinating point, contrary to my opinion that your personality fucking matters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a statement to today's NBA versus our NBA.
Yeah, the league, you could be a quiet, but there was a lot of quiet players back then too that were good, that were fine, you know?
Yeah.
Kevin Johnson didn't say shit. I love Kevin Johnson. He's a quiet motherfucker. He was great, you know?
Dan Marley was kind of quiet too, and he was good.
Yeah, then you could have Charles Barkley, who was outspoken as shit. And you could have, when did you ever hear Patrick Ewing speak?
Not rare.
Never.
Very rare.
He was quiet. Quiet dude.
A lot of barking
Didn't even
on
know
the
he had a Jamaican accent, did you?
Did he really?
Fuck yeah, he's from Jamaica. Fucking Jamaican accent. You didn't even know that.
I don't think I know what his voice sounds like.
Yeah, it's weird. So a lot of quiet. Like Akeem Olajuwon was like the most quiet, respectful.
I know what that guy sounds like.
Guy on earth.
Because when he barks, boy, is it loud.
Yeah, but he's the most quiet, respectful guy on earth. But he was so fucking good in winning titles that you couldn't ignore him. He was winning titles. That's all there was to it. He could barely speak English, for Christ's sake. But he was
David Robinson, quiet,
yeah, Mr.
U.S. Air Force,
Naval Academy.
Was it Naval?
Naval.
It was Navy. That's right.
He went to Navy, and he was
the Admiral.
Yeah, the Admiral. That's why. Yeah, he was on the goddamn. Remember those commercials with Tim Duncan? It was like, come to my house, we'll water the flowers, and then my wife's going to make an excellent. It's a stew, really. It's pretty tasty. She makes it sometimes. It's just tasty. You should just come and have some. Fucking ridiculous. So he said about this whole thing, it hasn't changed yet, and I don't think it ever will. Some players are always going to get looked over. It doesn't bother me. I just have fun playing this game. So Mookie says he's just trying to be cool about it because he's making millions of dollars. He's living his dream. He's fucking happy. February 96, he goes to court for the DUI and the marijuana possession, and he's found guilty of this. You, sir, may fuck off here, but very lightly. 1 year probation.
Okay.
So 1 year probation. That is February 8th, 1996. Let's remember that day.
Yeah.
Okay, February 8th, 1 year probation. Now, 95-96, on the court, 81 games started, goddamn nice, 35.7 minutes a game, 15.7 points per game. He's got 4.1 rebounds, 5.9 assists, 2.6 steals, crushing it. NBA second all-defensive team. Still great. I mean, you and Gary Payton probably.
Right.
Even better, makes $2.5 million.
He's done great.
That's impressive.
I didn't realize how great he did.
That's good. Yeah. 2.5 million that's nice. That's good money.
Nice chunk.
Yeah, he's going to go right there. That's good. And he's matured some too. Of the whole thing, everything he says, he slowed down his whole life is what he's saying. He's mature now. Let's do it in their own words.
Right.
He said, let's find out what Mookie has to say about this whole thing. Let's find out in their own words. Quote, a few years ago, it would have been a different story. I have a great wife and she helped me out. The Lord's there too, obviously. You have to trust the Lord to take care of you. If not, you go through life thinking you did it all yourself, and you can't say that. There's someone out there, something out there helping you pick and choose the right choices. Remember that, by the way. That
he's got Jesus.
That he's got Jesus, and that Jesus is, quote, helping him make the right choices. So we're going to blame Jesus later. Okay. He also, in addition to Jesus, there's other people as well, obviously. Said my wife and kids have helped me.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, they're not Jesus or anything, but they do their part, I suppose. What do you want from them? Not the Messiah. I can't ask them to do too much for me.
Zach and Junior at home.
You know how that goes. It wasn't one of those things where I was chasing and ruining my life. In other words, chasing women. I was involved in a bad thing, and sometimes you get caught up in bad things. You don't think you're going to get caught. You want to enjoy your life. It's like having a drink after work. You don't think you're going to get stopped by the police, but it can happen, and you've got to face the consequences when it does. I mean, you want to enjoy life and all, but you have to understand that there are consequences. Remember all of that.
Yeah.
Own words have never come back to haunt anybody more later. 96-97 with the Hawks again. 56-26. So that's goddamn good.
Yeah.
Not too bad at all. They win the first round of the playoffs against the Pistons. 3-2. It's Grant Hill's Pistons back then. It's a 5-game series though. Then they have to play the Bulls. This is post Michael Jordan return. To good fucking luck. They lose in a 5-game series there. You're not winning much more than a game in those series against them in the East.
No.
They're too tough. Now, February 8th, 1997 is
1 year.
1 year probation.
Yeah.
So his probation is over.
Right.
He's good.
Scot-free.
He's good now.
Ready to go.
Ready to go. Where's he going? Let's find out. February 14th, 97. 6 days after his probation
Valentine's
expires.
Day.
Oh, yeah. He is arrested in British Columbia in Vancouver.
You went to Canada?
Yeah, he's playing the Grizzlies.
Oh, okay.
Okay. He's going on a plane from Vancouver to Phoenix here. And funny thing, the police dogs find a little something in his bag.
Oh, they smell it.
Or they have a little scent on him.
Yeah.
And they take a little sniff. And what they end up finding is 2 ounces of weed on him.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of weed, and you can't try to bring it across.
No.
That's where you got to draw the line. That's where it's like, yeah, I get it and all, but you can't try to cross a country border with weed.
Why are you so much smarter than Mookie Blaylock?
It's just not smart. I know my limits, and that's one of them. You know what I mean?
Boy, is he a dummy.
Get your weed in whatever country you're in, because other than that, you can't keep just like bring weed back and forth through countries.
Is that trafficking?
Well,
that's going to be trafficking.
They end up.
That's a lot of weed, James.
Yeah, but in Canada they're like, oh, but he's a quiet guy, you know. Hey, I mean, look at him. He's not.
It may have been the weed.
He's not too bad.
He was very quiet.
He's very calm. He's quiet. He's polite.
He gave us the weed.
He gave it up. He was polite about it.
Great weed.
He didn't punch nobody. We all had some. It was good. It was good. Gave it right.
We brought it to the potluck.
Why do you think we're so? Why do you think we're so calm here? All of us are very nice.
To everybody that works there.
Oh boy, that's why we can tolerate hockey, eh?
I mean,
we don't even know it's on. We just smoke and we lay back and we go, "What's that still on?" Oh, third period. Okay, it's almost over. We don't even know.
My Canadian is very Irish.
Yeah,
I do an Irish Canadian.
That's fine. Irish come to Canada too,
I guess.
There's Irish Canadians. What do you want? Jesus Christ.
So they get 2 ounces off.
They get 2 ounces while as he's trying to board a plane for Phoenix. They find that shit. And so he's ordered to return to Vancouver for a court appearance on that in a couple months. But they let him go on. So, I mean, what are they going to do? Keep him there forever? I guess not. He's with the team here. So 96, 97, he ends up playing 78 games. He's 17.4 points a game, which is great.
That's amazing.
It's great. 5.3 rebounds, 5.9 assists, 2.7 steals, a career high for steals per game. And he leads the NBA in steals that year. And he's second team all defensive NBA team here. And better than that, he makes $2.8 million that year.
Great.
So he's doing lovely for himself. October 97, there's an article in the New York Times saying basically like everyone in the NBA smokes a shitload of weed. And they're talking about, this is not a surprise. No. It's a bunch of young guys.
Cliff Robinson, Damon Stoudemire.
It's a young guys who are in a game that's not predicated on physical aggression.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? I mean, obviously there's aggression, but it's not physical aggression like football or or boxing or something like that.
It's not based on punching a man in the mouth.
No, it's based on shooting, and there's some art to basketball. That's the thing. It's not just a straight force game or anything like that. There's some art to it.
Everybody that I knew in high school that smoked a shitload of weed played a shitload of basketball, and all of them were pretty goddamn good.
That's what I mean.
That's pretty wild.
Every kid on the team, on like the basketball team in high school that was good, they were all fucking stoners. Everybody. We hung out and smoked all the time. It was one of those things where if you... So I remember in high school, no matter how much, and this is dumb, I'm not telling people to go smoke a lot of weed, but I would play 10 games of full court basketball a day. So I could smoke all the weed I wanted. I would never notice it like in my lungs because all I was doing was running.
Anyway.
So it was like one of those things. So I could see that. This report in the New York Times says that marijuana smoking and heavy drinking are rampant, revolving about 70% of the players here, which makes sense. Young guys with money that like to party. I get that. The estimates based on players, for former players, agents, and basketball executives. They kind of made that figure.
Shut the fuck up, Ahmad Rashad.
Right?
Pipe down, you fucking square.
One agent said the figure may actually be higher. They're like, I think it's more than that.
Everybody I rep does it.
I don't have a client that's not fucked up, so yeah. Dallas guard here, one of their players, didn't want to be named, said, no one can really know, but it wouldn't surprise me if it's 70%. Derek Harper, who you know of, he says, you don't follow guys home, but it's just from what you hear. I think it's probably close to 70%. So,
he said that with a lisp.
Yeah, he did. No, weed is not covered by the league substance abuse policy then. It's just the, hard drugs there. David Stern said, though, he would like to have a drug policy that includes marijuana because he's an asshole who wants a league where everybody's fucking edgy and annoyed and not happy and calm and playing their best. He says, quote, that substance can impair people and cause them to be guilty of criminal conduct. We don't want that. I think it's incumbent upon us to make a statement about that. And then the league said, hey, motherfucker, guess who the people pay to see?
Right.
Us. Guess who smokes weed? All of us.
Right.
So... Yeah, no.
When they start paying to see David Stern, we'll fucking start thinking otherwise.
Yeah, or executives who are sober.
Right. Until anybody buys a ticket to a Suns game to see Jerry Colangelo, shut your fucking mouth, David.
Exactly. Carl Malone said, quote, marijuana is not tested for, and yet that is the big thing guys are getting in trouble for with the league. It's terrible. I don't know what that means. Then he says, what you're saying to all the young kids playing in college is this. Smoke all the pot you want because it won't be detected until you are picked up by the cops and it's all over the newspapers.
Okay, so he's saying it's a catch-22.
Yeah,
you don't get told you don't get told not to do it, and then you get busted.
When you get busted with it, you're the devil,
right?
Which is
you're
like
a monster.
Which is true.
Yeah,
it is.
And he
true.
said that shit in Utah. That's
he said
wild.
It in Utah in 1997.
That's brave.
Which is way different.
Some brave words.
Weed still feels way out of place in Salt Lake City. We just got back from there. It was weird.
Yeah,
it was weird. I felt like people were going to come in and try to convert me to LDS while I was smoking in the green room.
Booze feels weird there, and that's been there a long time.
They want it to feel weird.
They do.
They want you to feel like
a piece of shit.
They want you to feel dirty, like you needed that.
Yeah.
Okay, are you happy now? Now that you have that, your little thing here? Tell you what, let's talk about Jesus for a while. Come here for a second. How do you feel about having your own planet?
Dude, I went to
Jimmy,
fucking Dave & Buster's. I had a beer at the bar, and I turned, because my kids were playing video games, I turned around to walk over to check on them. There's a sign there that says no beer past this point, and I'm standing next to the sign, and a lady goes, your beer has to be by the bar. And I was like, there's a sign right here. And she goes, there's another one over there. I was like, how many fucking checkpoints are in this place?
Jesus, about beer?
Right. Calm down. It's a fucking beer.
You're jamming black tar heroin next to the fucking skee ball game, both knotted out with a fucking, your arm tied off and a needle hanging out. Hold on a minute. I'm on woof. Hey, give me about 10 minutes just to pass and I'll move, okay? It's a fucking beer.
Calm down, Talmadge. It's a fucking Corona.
Out. Jesus. Meanwhile, in some states, they don't. You can have an open container in the car as long as you're not drunk. They don't care at all.
At a Dave & Buster's in Alabama, if I don't have a beer, they're like, what the fuck's wrong with you, pussy?
Pal? Is she alcoholic or something? That's right. You beat your wife and stuff, court ordered. I understand. I get it. You got one of them things around your ankle there. I get it. I understand.
You only do it at your home, don't you? You got
alcohol.
You got to know alcohol beyond this point on your door, don't you?
Oh, you mean with your PO tomorrow? All right, that's fine. I get you. It's all right.
Fucking broad. I was so mad. Are you shitting me?
Fucking yeah.
I'm at a Dave & Buster's. If you don't drink at a Dave & Buster's as an adult, what am I here for?
Dude, I don't know how you would make the sound stop from rattling around your skull. The only way to do that would be to drink.
When did this become Chuck E.
Jesus
Cheese?
Christ, I want mescaline if I'm going in there. Make this shit worth my while.
Unreal.
Let's make it entertaining. Who's got mushrooms?
Ridiculous.
Because I'm going to fucking take them if I have to go to a Dave & Buster's.
I guarantee you that waitress was on to mushrooms. She had to be.
Was.
She had neck tattoos and
that's it.
And not judging her, but judging her. She's working at Dave & Buster's with all those tattoos. She's got to be on something.
Probably.
You can't just do that.
No, just to survive it. That's what I mean. That's not a judgment on her.
She can't put up with that shit sober.
The fact that she is doing it means that she must be she must be on something.
You're having a great time. Let me have one.
Otherwise, she'd have just knocked the beer out of your hand. Called your kids the N-word for some reason and then kicked you all out. That would have been it. That was you did.
I have a feeling she was not one of the Mormons. So what the fuck is she yelling at me for?
Probably not.
Calm down, lady. It's a beer.
Relax. 97-98 Atlanta Hawks here. 50-32. Not bad. Again, Lenny Wilkins coaching. First round of the playoffs, so they lose to the Hornets. This is that was a fun Hornets team. This is the Larry Johnson, Alonzo Mourning, and all them. It's a good team.
Curry.
Yeah, this is nasty. This team, and so they lose to them 3-1, but still a disappointment because they're 50-32. You win 50 games, you expect to be at least formidable in the playoffs. But Mookie's fine. Mookie starts 69 games, plays over 38 minutes a game, 13.2 points a game. He is 4.9 rebounds, 6.7 assists, 2.6 steals a game, which again leads the NBA in steals. He's again second team all defensive team here. This is his leading the league in steals 2 years in a row. Only 4 other guys have done that in the NBA history.
Wow.
Even now.
Really?
Not just then. Then it had only
Gary
been
Payton, obviously.
Then it had only been 2 guys.
Really?
But then it was now there's 2 more that have done it since then.
Unbelievable.
Alvin Robertson, who you might remember from Crime and Sports fame. He's
from the Spurs.
A lot of steals and a lot of other shit. That guy got arrested a ton.
Oh boy.
He's a trip. Go listen to that episode. Magic Johnson.
No kidding.
Not too fucking shabby there. Allen Iverson. And Chris Paul.
Wow.
That's an impressive list.
Those
Think
are
about
great
that
players.
list. Yeah, that's impressive. Hall of Fame, future Hall of Fame, prison.
And Mookie Blaylock.
And then Mookie Blaylock as well. So, and Alvin Robinson was a great player before he fucked it up. That wasn't his fault. Mookie this year, $3 million even. Made himself up to $3 million.
The man's over $10 million.
Oh, he's made well over that.
He's doing great.
We'll have a total here in a few. 98-99 Atlanta. They're 31-19. This is the strike shortened year. They beat the Pistons in the first round, but then get swept by the Knicks in the second round, where the Knicks will go on to lose to the Spurs and again break my heart. I've never gotten to see the basketball team. I like 2 basketball teams, Suns and Knicks. I've never gotten to see either of them win, and it's really starting to get to me. And now it's like it's not going to happen.
No,
we have at least 5 to 8 years before it'll happen for either of them. So I'm like, I'm just fucked.
They're going to waste Devin Booker's career.
Oh, yeah.
That's what they're going to do.
Everybody's career that's there, they're going to waste. That's all they do.
No, nobody's any good except for that kid.
And then they never re-sign their free agents anyway, so they end up going over here and going over there.
I feel so bad for Devin Booker. He's
it's sad.
Genuinely one of the best players in the league, and he's fucking ruined.
I wish they would take that team away from whoever the fuck owns it now and find somebody better, because it's
he's a
pathetic.
dickhead.
Stop it.
I
can't stand the Colangelos, but they at least knew how to run a fucking basketball team.
Because they're businessmen.
Who's the GM of the champion Raptors right now? Who is it, Jimmie? Who is it?
I don't know.
I think it's Brian Colangelo. Look it up and see if it's still Brian Colangelo.
I'll bet it is.
If not, he was there the last few years and built that team
I'll bet
to what it is. But I
is.
think he's the GM of that team, if I'm not mistaken. That's his dad owned the Suns. And he used to be the fucking Suns guy, and now he's not.
GM of the Toronto Raptors.
Check it out. I really want to hear this now. I hope it is. Is it him?
I don't know. Let's have a look.
Find it out.
Oh, it's Bobby Webster.
Oh, Bobby Webster.
Now.
Where was he? Was he there a couple years ago?
No, that cannot be. It is. The guy is like fucking 17, James.
Jesus Christ.
Look at this guy.
Colangelo was there a couple years ago.
That is the GM of an NBA basketball team.
Okay, he looks like an intern on Andrew Yang's fucking presidential campaign. That's what he looks like. He's just like a young, tech-looking guy. Like,
Unbelievable.
hey, how you doing?
How did that kid get that job? Does his dad own it?
I am not sure.
Wow.
But wasn't he the Raptors
Yes,
GM for a long
I think
time?
he was. Let me find out.
Probably
Raptors history.
Built a lot of this team, I assume.
You would assume, yeah.
I mean, something like that.
I cannot believe that kid is their fucking general manager.
That's insane.
That
he
does
looks
not make any sense.
No, he looks like he's in choir with my daughter.
Yeah.
So,
honestly,
he really does.
Genuinely looks like he's a teenager.
Yep. So
Brian Colangelo is with an I?
It's
got to be,
Is it
right?
a Y? I think it's a Y.
It might
Brian
be.
Colangelo for some reason.
Colangelo. No. Yeah, maybe. Yes, it is.
It is. Okay. It's with a Y. I was like, did I make him up completely?
So he was the 2007 5 to 7 NBA Executive of the Year. Right now, he is the front office career. Suns, Raptors. He is still there today. No, he's not.
Okay. So, whatever.
Where is he?
Either way, successful.
76ers.
Suns aren't.
And they're great, the 76ers. Yes.
You know what the Suns are? Fucking terrible every year. Every year. Can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
The 76ers are a great team, and it's because Brian Colangelo is terrific.
Yep. So Mookie has his typical year, 13.3 points a game, 5.8 assists, 4.7 rebounds, 2.1 steals. He's got a line that he plays within, and he's very consistent. Second team all NBA defensive team again, $3.6 million.
Wow.
For Mookie.
He has wow, I didn't realize he was so rich.
Yeah, he's feeling good, Mookie, right now. He's cracking his knuckles. Yeah, laid back.
This kind of money makes you feel like he was the name of a Pearl Jam album, and they ended up paying him for it. That kind of money that he's made is amazing.
It's fucking awesome. June 29th, 1999, he is traded by the Hawks. This is the end of his Hawk life here. Traded by the Hawks with a first-round draft pick, a guy who was later Jeff Foster, to the Golden State Warriors for Bimbo Coles, Dwayne Farrell, and a later draft pick, which turns out to be Jason Terry.
Oh,
was a
not
damn
a bad
good
pick.
player. Yeah, good player there. 99-2000, he goes to Golden State here. This is not the Golden State Warriors you think of now.
They're terrible.
This is a terrible team. Their roster is like 20 players long, 25, because there's so many guys coming and going. It's bad. Jason Caffey, Terry Cummings, if we remember at the end of his.
He's so ugly.
Eric Dampier, Donald Foyle.
Eesh.
It's getting bad. Antoine Jameson was a highlight here.
Donald Royal. That was the name of the Royal
Donald
guy.
Royal. Yeah.
That was his name.
There you go. Donald Royal. Thank you. Antoine Jameson, Danielle Marshall, Tim Legler, John Starks at the end of his career. Billy Owens, who was there forever, the old power forward on those teams before Weber came in. And Jesus Christ, this team 19-63.
Yeesh.
And this is the PJ Carlissimo, Latrell Sprewell choked him guy coach. He gets fired in the season though, and they hire somebody else. It doesn't matter.
Portland?
They suck.
I think PJ went to Portland after that.
Yes, and then he was Knicks for a while.
Probably.
Somewhere. The Nets, not the Knicks.
Yes, you're right. The Nets.
So Golden State that year, terrible. But Mookie, okay, 72 games started, 11.3 points a game, which, I mean, bad team, everything's going to go down when your team is that awful. 3.7 rebounds, 6.7 assists, 2 steals a game, and he makes $4.2 million.
To win 19 games.
To be terrible.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fucking wild.
Oh, my fuck, man.
He's starting to take things a little less seriously.
Of course.
Mookie is really into golf. I cannot express
really
how into golf Mookie is. He is known for it.
Really?
He's obsessed with golf.
Really?
Loves golf. All he wants to do is play golf.
This era of basketball, that's their fucking favorite thing.
It's so weird. Yeah. So but I mean, this is like from when he came into the league. He's just really into golf.
He's loved it that long.
He loves golf. I don't know what it is about it. He just loves playing golf.
He played in the NBA to make enough money to play golf.
To relax and play golf. Yeah, he's one of those guys, like Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
Or he'd have to make more if he wanted to be Barkley, because you got to gamble a lot of it away.
And play in much more exclusive courses.
Oh, well, yeah, absolutely. Because
you're Charles Barkley.
After the casino.
And that's where the women that give great blowjobs are at.
Well, yeah. Also the ones you might have to coerce to get great blowjobs.
Chip them off a couple.
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
Teammates, girlfriends that you're going to try to coerce to give blowjobs to. We've heard a lot about how the Suns players rolled in the mid-90s there.
It was very scummy.
It was pretty gross.
It was not good.
Listen to the Oliver Miller episode. I'm just like, eee.
Good Lord.
So February 2001, Mookie skips a practice.
Oh?
Why does he skip practice? Does he have a car accident? Is one of his kids sick? Nope, he was playing golf. So, skipped,
and he's in California too.
That's what I mean. He's starting to really kind of go on cruise control here. He is stripped of his captaincy of the team. He's the captain of the team, and he's stripped of his captaincy.
They took it that serious?
Yeah, he skipped a practice to play golf. That's not an example.
No,
he's the captain. He's supposed to go, hey guys, get your shit together. We need you. You're head in the game and all that kind of shit.
You want to play golf? We're going to give the captaincy to Tim Legler.
Well, they give it to Antoine Jameson.
That's a good one.
Yeah, they had to give it to a good player.
Yeah.
They couldn't give it to Tim Legler.
We're really going to embarrass you, Mookie.
Here.
We're giving your C to Tim Legler.
And the rest of the team, that's embarrassing for all.
That's what they deserve for 19 wins.
Well, it gets worse. 2000-2001, they have 17 wins.
How is that even possible?
17-65.
Oh, my God.
Holy shit. By the way, their coach they hired the year before as an interim coach, Gary St. Jean, was 13-42 as their coach filling in. They move him up to executive that year.
What?
And hire Dave Cowens as the coach.
Like I got a promotion for that shit?
He did a real bang-up job.
We can't believe you won that many games.
That's amazing.
We are blown away.
So I'm fired? No, promoted. No, we'd like you to have the big office in the corner with the windows. That's what we're looking for.
13.
It's pretty
You're
good.
in.
You're in, buddy. Now we won 17. 17-65. Not good. Things aren't going well. Mookie, 11 points per game, so that's going down a little bit. 3.9 rebounds, 6.7 assists. That's the same. 2.4 steals.
Okay.
So he's still trying hard on the floor. I mean, nothing can't sneeze at his effort. $4.8 million for the Mookster here that year. $4.8 million.
He's over $20 million, James.
Oh, yeah. 2001, 2002, team goes 21-61. And they're firing coaches like that's the problem.
Right.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's all you have all the talent for a title, just no one knows how to put it together.
Those people are winning more games than the guy that you promoted won.
Yeah,
so what are we doing?
And by the way, he keeps his job, even though he hired a coach that was so terrible that they had to fire him halfway through this season too. He had hired that guy, but
that guy keeps his position.
But you keep your job, even though you put bad players and bad coaches on the floor together.
You've won the least amount of games of any coach in the NBA's history.
Excellent work.
Yeah, you're out scouting for coaches.
I wonder, was he considered, I hope, for Executive of the Year? Because, I mean, it seems like he would have been a shoo-in for that. Let's hope he was considered, at least. So, Mookie here this year plays in 35 games, starts 0 games this year.
No.
Yeah, they take him out of the starting lineup. 3.4 points a game, 17.1 minutes a game. So cut his minutes in half. He was 34 minutes a game the last year.
Yeah.
Now down to 17. 3.4 points a game, down to 1.5 rebounds, 3.3 assists, 0.7 steals.
James, it's over.
So they neutered him.
Yeah.
$5.4 million, though, for that.
I could put up those numbers, I think.
I'll try. I'll certainly try.
For that amount of money.
Tell you what, I'll
bet you
smoke
people
weed
watch
before every game, and I'll try my hardest. That I'll promise you. I promise you that.
I'll bet you more people watch me try to do that than watched Mookie Blaylock put those numbers up.
You'd be like the pace car. It'd be great. That's what I mean. It's like the same thing with racing. These cars are all going 200 miles an hour. That doesn't show anything. I want to see somebody's like shitty, like 98 Chevy Cavalier going, so you can see exactly. Wow, that's fast. I don't even want to see the aerial view. I want the cam inside the Cavalier so you can hear as these cars fly by. You go, see how fucking fast these people are going? That's entertaining.
I'm doing 85 and this car's going to fall apart.
Exactly. Now, if you come in the game for like 6 minutes a game,
it'll be great to watch LeBron dunk on
people go, these guys are tremendous athletes. Are you seeing this? I mean, look at that. You with like a GoPro on your head as you're running and LeBron's nutsack clears its frame. You're going to be like, Jesus. People are going to be like, oh, these athletes are amazing. 5 minutes a game. They'd be so good promotion for the league.
Does that executive with the Warriors still have his position? Because I am declaring myself eligible for the NBA draft.
Yeah, you never know if he's up there in a position of power.
Honestly, hire me.
I think they probably got rid of him because they're good now.
Yeah,
so you know, but
whatever the worst team is, I'm declaring myself eligible for their draft.
Yeah,
I'll play.
See, with me, it would suck because I would suck just as bad out there. They dominate me just as hard, but I'm 6'4", so I'd at least look like They'd
be like, why is that guy out there?
It'll at least look like if I just stood there with my arms up on the side and the ball didn't go to me, nobody would notice. You know what I mean? Literally, they'd be like, I don't know, there's that guy.
You'd be goddamn John Concat.
Is there an Italian guy in the league? That's weird. He must be from there. He's probably from there. He probably speaks no English, this guy.
Used to play in Italy?
Yeah, that's what you would think. Whereas,
with me, they'd be like, why is the guy that cleans the fucking floor after the game still here?
Now, if I got the ball, they'd be like, oh, God, what the hell happened there? Did he hit his head before he went out there? Dude just took it from him and then fucking knocked him down and dunked on him. Jesus, that's sad.
The guy that cleans the floors early for his shift, and he is wearing a uniform.
For some reason, they gave him a uniform. He must have.
He is checking in, you guys. He's at the scorer's table checking in.
I bet he's got a 5-foot vertical leap. That's the only thing that could explain this. It's a Spud Webb type player.
This kid's gonna be amazing.
He's in his late 30s.
I'm in my prime.
No hair and he's white, but he's gonna dunk. He's going to rock this shit.
Are those moles on his head?
I think they are. It's going to be good stuff. Can we get a bobblehead of him? Got a giveaway.
Can we get a lumpy bobblehead of that?
It's going to be awesome. So that is it for Mookie.
Oh, no.
He retires after this. All his career is done. He played a total of, he started 800 games in the NBA.
That's awesome.
That's amazing. Played in 889, but he started 800 games. That's awesome. Averaged 34.9 minutes a game, 13.5 points per game, 4.1 rebounds, 6.7 assists, and 2.3 steals a game.
Average for the career.
Average for his entire career.
That's awesome.
That's the only 2 seasons where he did not have over 2 steals a game average was his first and last season.
Wow.
Which is incredible.
And the last one is because he played 11 minutes.
Oh, the first one, 25.3 minutes a game, and the second one was 17.1 minutes a game. So, yeah, he didn't get over 30. You play him over 30 minutes, he's going to have a couple of steals, guaranteed.
That's awesome.
His money total makes about a little under $32 million.
Wow.
So, good money.
Unbelievable.
The Mookster is going to kick back and relax, and that's what he does.
Yeah.
He kicks back, he relaxes throughout the 2000s here, the aughts. He chills, he parties, he plays a lot of golf.
Yeah.
His wife divorces him.
Oh, no.
His wife gets tired of his drinking and driving, basically. And
he does that a lot?
Drives like a maniac, drives fast, drives stupid times. His wife leaves him because she said that he's going to kill somebody in the car one day, and I don't want to be married. I don't want to be married to him when it happens. And his wife divorces him. So there's that. And there's a lot. This is the weird thing, man. When his kids, I don't want to say he has nothing to do with his kids, but by all accounts, later on, his kids act like he doesn't fucking exist.
Wow.
When there's pictures of his mom and his stepdad, they say they're his parents. And they're like his mom and his stepdad, and Mookie's never in the picture.
What?
And if anything, the kids are like, I don't want to, don't treat me like my dad type of shit. Like the kids, I don't know if they're trying to make their own path or if they've had some beef.
Actually distancing
with them.
From him.
Yes, but when they give credit for shit, they give it to their mom and their stepdad, John. That's who they give it to.
God.
So
Ouch.
Yeah, it's interesting.
What sport did John play, kids?
I don't know. John's a big white dude. I'm not sure what he played. Not positive, but maybe basketball. He seems pretty tall. I'm not sure, but maybe volleyball.
Is his last name Concac?
He's not. That would have been amazing. That would have been great. Concac laying down the concock on him. He says concock and fucking lays that shit down.
Holy shit.
That's why they gave him all that money.
Yeah.
They were just afraid of his penis. They're like, Concac's going to come in with his penis and wave it around. We really can't have this. We need to, let's just sign him. Give him whatever he wants.
Unbelievable.
I'm scared of his penis. So, yeah, he's not. I hate to say that because we don't have like exact things, but I don't know, man. Your kids, when your kids grow up, you would assume if any of them do well, they're going to say, yeah, my mom and dad were cool.
Right.
They're not going to be like my mom and somebody else and not even mention you. You know what I mean?
That guy that's not my dad.
Yeah, like
that would sting.
That's what I'm saying. So I hear that a lot and it feels on purpose. Like there's literally don't treat me like my dad. Like I'm making my own path. Like not like, oh, my dad's great and he helped me a lot. And then here's a quote from Mookie.
Right.
There's no quotes from Mookie.
Nothing.
In any of these articles about his kids.
I'm succeeding, and I give all that credit to my mother.
My mother?
Right. Not the guy that made $32 million in the NBA.
And that's the thing, too. They all say they never wanted for anything. He supported his kids and things like that. It wasn't like he wasn't a deadbeat dad or anything like that. Kemp. But it seems to be, he has kids with his ex-wife, and he takes care of those kids. And, I mean, takes care of his responsibilities and everything like that. But he doesn't seem to be really close to the kids or really a huge influence from what they say. And like I said, I can't judge that, but a friend of his, the Solomon guy, the ex-ball boy who said he liked to smoke weed every game, he says that he was just, at this point, he's drinking, he's spending his life at the strip club. Mookie is. He said that he's at the strip club sometimes 5 days a week.
Oh, that's too many.
That's a job at that point. Like, that's a job. It's literally, you're taking shifts.
Your job is to patronize a fucking strip club.
To give strippers money.
Right.
That's your job.
That's not a job. That's a terrible job.
That's a job that is not going to last long.
That doesn't have a 401k.
There's no 401k.
That's an expensive job.
You literally might as well just say, can I be a manager? I'm here 5 days a week.
Right. Can I just be a comedian? Because that pays the same.
It's nothing.
Negative.
Sitting here.
Negative money.
At least there's boobs there.
Yeah.
That's it.
He's got a point.
Yeah.
And you didn't have to think of a stupid joke for this.
Exactly. Because, I mean, at the end, that's the thing. As a comic, at the end, you have to have a big joke because your ending is thank you, goodbye.
Right.
Whereas at the end, if you're doing a set at a strip club in between strippers, at the end of your set, no matter how bad it is, and here's tits. Like, yay! You're introducing something they want at the end. You could be terrible, but at the end, they're going to be happy with you because you introduced that. So totally seems like a better gig.
Yeah.
I don't know. 4 or 5 times during the week.
Too much.
His drinking too is just out of control. He's drinking a lot of drinking. In 2009, the police come to his house for a domestic disturbance after his girlfriend calls him, calls the police in the middle of a fight. Nobody ends up being arrested here, though. There's police reports and things like that, and yelling, screaming, throwing shit, things like of that nature. Nobody with any marks or bruises or anything that would require arresting.
Okay.
It's one of those, well, can you guys fucking not kill each other tonight?
Right.
We're going to leave you alone.
I broke my own shit. All right, well,
or somebody
that's not illegal.
Somebody go to a hotel tonight and, whatever, that sort of thing. So, April 2010, he is, he's arrested. He is pulled over. Man, he's so drunk he's pulled over for DUI.
Oh no.
He's so fucking drunk. First of all, I'll give you can guess his blood alcohol after I tell you what happened.
Be fun.
He's so drunk that when police asked him to get out of the car, he had put it in neutral.
Oh no.
He didn't get it all the way up to park. And so when he stepped out,
it rolled.
The car fucking started rolling away.
Damn it.
That's
Mookie.
how shit-faced he is. So you got to be drunk to do that. How drunk is he?
0.27.
0.36.
Oh my! That's not.
Dude.
Behind the wheel?
You shouldn't be able to stand up at 0.3. You don't even know where the fuck you are at 0.36.
You can't spell your name, even if it's Mookie.
I think John Bonham died just over that. Literally,
Probably.
the drummer for Led Zeppelin died I think it was 0.410 or some shit.
0.4 is generally
bad.
Yeah, it's generally dead.
0.360.
That's a lot.
Driving.
Unbelievable.
Think about the decision making there.
Wherewithal to put key in ignition and car into drive.
And pull over when you get lights behind you.
Yeah.
But not put it in park.
That tells you how much and often he drinks.
That's my point.
Every day.
That's an alcoholic that functions on that shit.
Right.
And that's so fucking drunk, man. That's insane.
That's too much.
He goes to court for this. He's charged with DUI, obviously. It's reduced in court from DUI to reckless driving.
Why?
That's an extreme. However many extremes you want to put on it, DUI.
There's no reason to not treat that as a fucking example.
That's what I mean. I'm not for harshness of if you're hammered and you do something terrible and you crash into somebody or something, that's whatever. But when they pull somebody over and they're fucking 0.8 and they take them in and you can tell they're not drunk. They're come on. They're not drunk and they're probably okay. And they're probably all right.
Right.
I feel bad at that point when people get arrested for shit like that because I get that they still are a little bit impaired, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? If you're a little sleepy, it's the equivalent of 0.08. It really is. So it's not much different. So there's plenty, and everybody out there's on fucking pills and medication, everything else, so shut the fuck up.
And you got this guy.
And I don't drink at all. So this is not coming from hey, ease up on the drunk drivers.
Take it easy on me so that I can drink.
Yeah, I don't drink. I prefer it if everyone wasn't drunk on the roads, but I'd also prefer if they weren't on pills all the time.
Right. So. I love to drink, but now I don't drink and drive.
No.
It's very, I'll have a beer with dinner or whatever.
Yeah,
I'll drive, but I'm not fucking getting hammered.
No, because it's stupid.
It's crazy.
It's fucking crazy.
Because this 0.36
is crazy.
That's unbelievable.
That's not thinking at all here. And somehow that's not a DUI. That is reduced to reckless driving. Like he was just speeding.
Why not treat that as an example? And put that all over the news.
That's what I mean, especially because this is A, not his first time doing this, and B, that's a lot.
And C, he has upped the fucking ante to I will drive to the point of almost death.
Oh, there's more.
And I'll keep driving.
You want to see keep driving? Hey, that's April 2010, 0.360. Over the summer, he's arrested again for DUI. Guess what that charge is? It's dropped again to reckless driving.
What?
He's arrested twice in a 4-month period for the same thing. One of them excessively extreme, both reduced. That second one should be
right
we're
now.
Not reducing shit.
No.
We're going for the maximum of whatever we can because you didn't learn your lesson from 3 fucking months ago.
How high is this one?
This one I don't know the exact number, but I do know the number of the one he got in November 2011.
Oh my God!
When he gets another DUI,
2 years and 3 times stopped, James.
Yeah. Think about that. How many times in between?
The amount of times he drank, it's insane.
Somebody who can walk around and function with this much alcohol in their system is a fucking alcoholic.
Absolutely.
And they're doing this every day.
All the time.
5 times a week he's going to the strip club. Do you think he's not drinking at the strip club?
100% of the times he's drunk.
Yeah. Think he's having club soda at the strip club? Oh, boy, I better stop drinking. I'm going to go home in a couple hours. I don't want to.
He's not Ben Affleck in the town drinking cranberry juice.
Yeah, this
man loves booze.
This guy's drinking at the strip club. He's going to drink and throw money at women. That's what he's fucking doing. Yeah. So November 2011, DUI, he has a blood alcohol content of 0.272 this time.
Oh, my God.
Dude, that's so drunk.
That's almost 2 extreme DUIs in Arizona.
I think
so much.
0.2 is an
0.15 is the extreme.
So that's 2 extremes because this is 0.272.
Right. So it's almost 2.
Almost double, you mean?
Right. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Almost double. Oh, I thought you meant he almost had 2 at the last 2 arrests.
This right here, they should give him 2 for this one.
Yeah, because it's almost double. The last one was 2.
Right.
You are 2 drunk men right now. You have the alcohol
of 2 extreme drunk men.
Your blood is 2. If we took your blood out and divided it and split it amongst 2 people,
both of them would get
be
to you
extremely drunk. Extremely drunk. We could share your blood with 2 adult human males, and they'd both be too drunk to drive.
The maximum penalty DUI.
Yeah, by
both
far.
of them.
That's how drunk you are, stupid. That's crazy. Think about that.
That's unbelievable.
He could have split his blood up between the 2 of us, and we'd both be stumbling around.
We both can't drive.
And he is driving like that twice. Insane.
What the shit?
Yeah, this is fucking crazy.
What do they do with this one?
They reduce it to reckless driving. I swear to God.
Where is this?
This is in Georgia.
He still lives in Georgia.
Can you say silver-haired?
Yeah. Middle-aged.
Everybody.
Everything. Yeah.
Silver-haired, middle-aged, everybody.
Yeah.
If this is you, you're in prison.
Oh, boy.
We know a guy right now who is sitting in prison and didn't have that high in fucking blood alcohol level. And no one reduced his to shit. He's in prison for that shit.
He still has several months to go.
That's what I mean. This is insane.
And
this is
because he's not Mookie Blaylock.
Apparently he's not Mookie Blaylock. Oh my God. The prosecutor said later on, or not the prosecutor, this was a commentator here. He said, quote, "It was a 0.272 blood alcohol content, which is a DUI. Unless there's some difficulty getting into evidence, the breath test results, then that's a DUI in anybody's book. It's not reckless driving." No.
It's not a DUI. The DUI just kind of, it brushes under the rug how drunk you are. This is fucking insane DUI.
They need an SWD.
Yeah.
Shit-faced while driving. They need that. Like, to really give it the fucking punch it needs.
Right.
Hammered fucking, whatever you're...
This guy was fucked up.
Fucked up while driving. FWD, motherfucker. Fucked up while driving.
Unbelievable.
Trashed.
That's silly.
Reckless driving.
Unbelievable.
Insane. 2012, good time for his children. His sons, Zach and Darren, are both going to play football for Kentucky.
Wow.
It's not too shabby. Darren plays
the twins.
The twins. Yeah. Darren plays all 4 years at linebacker and defensive back. Both of them are kind of bench guys, not real big on the stats, but they both get a 4-year big good education from Kentucky for free on a scholarship. Good for them. March 20th, 2013, Blaylock is spotted walking toward a grocery store when he fell down in the parking lot.
What?
This is after, when they tracked him back to where he was, they found his car smashed into another one.
What?
He came into the grocery store parking lot, smashed into another car, left it there, got out, tried to go in the store, and fell down because he was so fucking drunk.
Unreal.
That's how drunk he was. He couldn't even park.
He couldn't even walk,
to the grocery store. Falling. So we know 272, he can walk around fine.
Yeah.
He's drunker than that.
Right.
Think about that.
Did they give him a DUI for this?
Charged with a DUI.
Good. Finally.
Fucking finally.
Yeah.
They're not going to reduce this one. It's
at this point, now there's a victim. Like before.
He at least bashed into property. It wasn't just he got stopped. Yeah, there's something. But I mean, good Lord, how many times can you fucking do one thing before they get you? You're going to spend a night in jail for once. Holy shit.
Was this during the day?
This is during the day.
That's why they got him, because it's fucking broad daylight.
It's broad daylight.
They're like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, if he did this at 2 a.m, he probably drove off and no one would have noticed it. Right. That's the thing. He could a parked car in a parking lot.
Somebody comes out of a grocery store with a giant Mookie Blaylock-sized dent in the side of their car.
Well,
but
instead, someone comes out of the grocery store and they see an NBA All-Star drooling on his face on the pavement while they hear a horn blaring because his car smashed into a fucking other car
and set it off. 2:11 in the afternoon.
Yeah, and you're like, Jesus, I got to go get my kids from school. What the hell's going on here? Fuck me. How am I supposed to do that? So he's actually in jail for a minute.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's got to be a wake-up call, maybe.
You'd think so.
After that, I mean, he goes home, he's wealthy.
Yeah.
He's got to sit and go, okay, let's see what I have here.
Take stock of this life.
Yeah, I have 5 beautiful children. He has 5 kids, 5 beautiful kids, all, going to be successful in life. They're growing up. 2 of them are in a major university, playing college football. I'm embarrassing them.
Right.
Because when this article comes out, it says Mookie Blaylock, former blah, 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 and father of current.
Oh, God.
It says that on every fucking article.
So painful.
When he starts getting arrested after they go to college. So, and it's going to get even worse in a second. So he's just, he's got to be sitting in his house and take stock.
Yeah.
Like, I need to flush. Yeah. I need a flushing. I need a fucking something. I gotta do something. And then there's a knock at the door. There's a knock at the door, and it's Paul Calhoun, shit pipe enthusiast. And he says, how is it you come to arrive here, guy? Because I got to tell you, I've seen a lot of shit pipes in my day.
Oh.
I'm the guy with the shit pipes. Let me tell you, pal.
Yeah.
I come over, I would say I'll clean your shit pipes, I'll smack your wife, but I think she's been through fucking enough at this point. You know what I mean?
Looks like she left you.
You left. Your wife ain't here. I don't see any women's clothes laying around here, so I'm going to say she left.
Yeah.
I don't want to smack a stripper. That's not polite to them. These poor bastards have to put up with you every fucking day. So you know what? I'm going to give you a smack. How about I clean your shit pipes and smack you upside the fucking head with my pipe? How's that sound?
How about I clean your shit pipes and smack your life?
Smack your life. I tell you what. You know who I brought in here? Come here, buddy. I brought Kevin Willis with me. I'm going to clean your shit pipes, and he's going to smack you with his monstrous gargantuan cock. That's how we're going to do this. Right across the head. When you recover from your concussion, then we're going to have another talk about it, all right? Kevin, drop him. Let's go. Poof. And a poof of PVC and shit and pipes.
Paul Calhoun Kevin Willis to Dick Smite you.
Yeah, I love it. That's the new team. Paul Calhoun he cleans his shit pipes with Kevin Willis's giant cock. He's got a multi-purpose cock over here.
You ever seen one of those drain snakes? Well, I got Kevin Willis.
I got Kevin Willis. He does the whole pipe. Oh, it has to be a pretty big pipe. It's got to be a big pipe, though.
He just kind of pushes it through.
Yeah, if you got those little ones, like a little 3/4, that's not going to, you can't do it. You got to have like a 4-inch pipe, one of them, then we can use it.
4-inch main.
Otherwise,
open it up.
It's like a fucking log, this thing. You got to see it. So, late April. Jesus Christ.
Dick Smite.
Why not? Late April 2013, Blaylock is eating lunch in a fancy restaurant in Atlanta, and he has a seizure.
Oh, no.
While he's eating lunch. This isn't the first time he's had a seizure, too. He's had some sort of little seizure problem lately.
Really?
But he has a seizure while eating lunch in the restaurant.
You never had, like, what do you call that? The disease where you get those?
No, he didn't. No, like epilepsy.
That's the word.
Yeah, no. Yeah. So that was the thing. He just kind of started having these seizures recently. Now, also, you'll have if you have withdrawals of different things, it can cause different things. So we don't know. But this is like a true seizure, apparently. And during the seizure, it's ambulance is called. Police are there. Everybody's trying to save the guy's life.
Right.
They take him to the hospital and everything like that. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
His doctor orders him not to drive. He says, you have a condition, I don't know what it is, but you're having seizures, and we need to figure this out.
Something neurological is happening.
Yeah, and we don't know when it's going to happen, so do not drive. Had him sign a document pledging not to drive. Okay. He said, please, I can't let you just go out the door. You have to tell me you're not going to fucking drive, because you're going to kill somebody if you do this. Like, it's very dangerous.
This is my license, motherfucker.
It's dangerous, and, there's other people's lives at risk here, and if you're shit-faced and having seizures, this is really going to... It's bad enough you're one or the other.
Right.
But, so, it's one of those things. So that is April of 2013, late April. Yeah. May 31st, 2013. Okay.
Just a few weeks later.
There's a couple named Frank and Monica Murphy.
Oh, Jesus.
And they're driving in south of downtown Atlanta. It's 1 in the afternoon. Mm-hmm. Bright day. They just turned onto Route 19 on 41. It merges with 3 lanes of traffic going on another thing.
Yeah.
At that point, it's about 1 o'clock. They're house hunting. They just moved here from Plano, Texas.
Okay.
Just moved to Atlanta from Plano. They have 5 children.
Oh, geez.
Just moving there with 5 kids, trying to start over. They've had like a tough time. He's just got laid off from FedEx.
Oh, no.
And it's just a tough time. And they've lived in Plano, Texas, and they lived in a few other places. They're an interracial couple with 5 kids. They've been married for 20 years, and they've had problems. Oh, beige and gorgeous.
Unbelievable.
They've had problems with that, where people have in a smaller place in Plano, Texas, place like that, where people have been kind of shitty to them about it. So they wanted to go to Atlanta, where nobody cares.
Yeah,
nobody gets a fucking Atlanta.
Matter of fact, they fucking encourage it.
Oh, nobody cares in Atlanta, and that's just everybody's mixing
white fathers everywhere. Like, would you please go fuck Jermaine Dupri
get
and
him in there? Yeah,
a caramel grandchild.
Yeah, it's going to be gorgeous. Yeah. Better for Instagram pictures. Right. Let's do this.
Less filters.
And it makes me look less racist. Honestly. Take a picture of my little caramel grandkid. Look at me. Don't call me racist. Got to be a couple of those guys.
Yeah.
So they're preparing. They're moving here. They're house hunting. Frank's driving. No kids are in the car. It's just a couple. They're looking for a house. They're driving around looking at for sale places and kind of taking peeks.
Yeah.
You do without a real estate agent. You look at the thing. You're like, I don't have to look at that one. Fuck this neighborhood. Yeah, you know that. We've all done that hunt. The quick one on your own. They're driving a Chrysler Town and Country minivan.
Oh, that thing.
5 kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had one of those.
Yeah, I did.
As a rental.
Oh, boy. boy.
When they fixed your Jeep. So they're at a red light, and the red light turns green, and they start going forward at that point. It's at this moment that Frank sees a black Cadillac Escalade speeding toward them from across the other lane at a 45-degree angle, which is not how people drive on roads. So it's very odd. It's going over 50 miles an hour.
Going the opposite direction.
Toward them.
Yeah.
It goes over a median toward them at a 45-degree angle going 50 miles an hour. Yep. It's a Cadillac Escalade.
It's a giant
it's
SUV.
It's a fucking bus, basically. It's enormous. It's like the weight of a school bus. Murphy, they're sitting there. It just turned red, so he'd just taken his foot off the gas. There's no momentum. If you gun a town and country, it's going nowhere for 3 seconds. It's going to go and then pull forward slowly. It's not
that clutch has got to grab.
Yeah, it's not great. So he could not do anything at all, and the Escalade, smashes into the front corner of the car,
of the driver's side,
of the passenger side.
Oh, no.
Frank is knocked unconscious, and he ends up with a broken ankle. But Monica, on the other hand, who's 43 years old, is crushed by the car in there because it hits the corner and crushes her 50-mile-an-hour Escalade. She's stuck between the seat and the dashboard, sandwiched in there.
God damn it.
Smashed. She has terrible injuries here. She's initially taken to the hospital where she goes into cardiac arrest in the ambulance, and she's taken on, and she's on life support, and a couple days later she dies from her injuries.
No.
5 kids, ages 3 to 15.
Holy shit.
3 to 15.
No mother.
No mother. Father just got laid off and has a dead wife now. And
Holy
moving
fuck.
to a new city with nobody, with 5 kids and a dead wife and a smashed car. He doesn't even have a car. He can't even go to work.
His life fell apart so fast.
2 seconds. And all they were trying to do was make a fresh start.
Right.
You know what I mean? And do something good and get out and get a better life for their kids, like everybody tries to do.
Mookie Blaylock stealing again.
This is obviously Mookie Blaylock's Escalade. The Solicitor General of the county in Georgia here said, quote, "When we ran his criminal history, one of the first questions we asked is, why was this man still driving?" At the time of the crash, he was driving with a suspended license. Not only that, from all his DUIs, but an outstanding warrant to appear on DUI and drug charges for being caught with marijuana again.
Oh my God.
So, that was all separate. He's there. Monica was an insurance agent, licensed insurance agent. She was kind of the family breadwinner at that time. She lived in Georgia a few years ago and wanted to move back so she could work from home. And she wanted to be around her kids more, spend more time with her family, work from home, and start a new life there. Frankie was a warehouse forklift operator for FedEx, and he was got laid off, and he was going there to try to find work because it's a bigger city with more work. And it's crazy.
Unbelievable.
Murphy, the father here, Frank, he says, quote, "It's a day-to-day thing with us. It doesn't get any easier," which I guess not. So Mookie is also on life support.
What?
Mookie's on life support. That was a bad crash.
Really?
Mookie's also on life support at first here.
This is very rare.
This is crazy. Yeah, we normally don't see this because he wasn't drunk. We'll talk about it. He had a seizure.
Oh, shit.
He wasn't supposed to be driving.
No.
He had a seizure, and
his license was suspended. Who gives a shit if he signs it or not?
But he definitely knew he wasn't supposed to be driving. Even if he's sober, he knew he wasn't supposed to be. It's not like before where he's like, I know I don't have a license, but I'm not even drunk, so I'm not going to hurt anybody. He knew at any point he could this could happen. So, he hires a fucking lawyer, though. I'll tell you that much. We'll talk about the life support in a second. He's on it quick and on it and off it quick. And then he's in critical condition, though, for a while. He faced, at first, they're talking about vehicular homicide charges because they at first assume he's drunk because it's fucking Mookie Blaylock. So they're like, what is he, a 0.85 this time? 8.56. His blood is pure alcohol. So he hires a high profile.
Take a shot of this. You're going to get
Come on,
up.
it's pretty crazy. You can't even sniff this shit. He retains some lawyers here, people who have in this firm. They've represented Ray Lewis, Jamal Lewis, Ben Roethlisberger, T.I., and also the chief financial officer of the Gold Club strip club there that was having the big RICO trial. So, every fucking
everybody he knows.
Yeah, Jamal Lewis, who was busted for facilitating drug deals. It's crazy. Ben Roethlisberger, who was up for
accused
of rape. Ray Lewis accused of murder.
Right.
T.I. I don't remember what the fuck. Guns at the airport. Guns at the airport.
And murder.
And was he up for murder? I don't remember that.
Murder at the fucking Bogarts. Out front of fucking...
was he up for that?
I think he was in trouble for that. I
Allegedly.
think it was him. Yeah.
We're not sure.
Yeah, no, not that he murdered
We're not
anybody.
positive of any of this,
but
so
I'm pretty
all of
sure
this
he's the guy that was in trouble for somebody getting shot out front of Bogarts.
Oh, Jesus. So, I don't know. So, yeah, and the Gold Club RICO trial.
Wild.
So... Mookie Blaylock's condition, he was airlifted to the hospital and everything, and critical condition, and police say he's getting better now. He was on life support, but then he was on critical condition when he was taken off of it. He does need a wheelchair to get around. He's all fucked up and injured. Once he is released from the hospital, he's arrested, obviously. And he's arrested, and Paul Calhoun's standing there going, I fucking told you. I thought, Kevin, where is he? Oh,
smite this motherfucker.
Kevin, your cocks needed it. Well, actually, hold on. I think you knocked seizures in him last time. This guy's cock is so big, he'll put a seizure in you. That's when he'll knock your head. You have seizures for months afterwards. Just fucking crack you. You start shaking and bow right into a mother of five. You know what I mean?
Stick around.
Hey, stick around there. He's Pearl Jam's official Twitter tweets at him, sending good thoughts to Mookie.
Why would you do it?
I don't know. He killed a woman.
Right.
I don't know.
Fuck his
They
thoughts.
hear he's in life support, so they send out a nice tweet to Mookie. So they're obsessed
You don't
with
ask
Mookie
how
Blaylock.
did he get there?
Why are you obsessed with Mookie Blaylock? Find a better player. Tweet at Steph Curry.
Right.
He's a nice guy. I don't know. Tweet at somebody. So June 11th, 2013, this is when the charges are coming down here. He's also facing charges of driving on a suspended license, making an improper lane change, crossing the median, also all this shit. He was not drunk at the time of the crash, so the prosecutors thought initially they're only going to be able to charge him with a misdemeanor vehicular homicide because he's not drunk. At that point, it's an accident.
Right.
Accidents happen. You can't charge someone with, murder for an accident
You
like
still
that.
get him with manslaughter, and that one carries.
That carries a maximum 12-month jail sentence, but most of the time people get probation for that sort of thing.
For manslaughter?
For misdemeanor vehicular manslaughter. If it was just carelessness, but not like you weren't drunk, you weren't, whatever, and nothing aggravating. But the weird thing is they were able to upgrade the charges because remember that seizure he had in the restaurant?
Yeah.
Well, the police were called there. One of the responding police officers who happened to be also working this case over here, or heard about this case over here, knew that Mookie wasn't supposed to be driving because of the seizures.
Right.
The police didn't know that, who arrested him. They didn't know that.
Oh, boy.
So he was saying, hey, it's a medical condition. I wasn't drunk. I had a seizure, which would be like, oh, that poor guy. It was not his fault. This cop knew he fucking wasn't supposed to be driving because he knows he's having seizures, and he's not. And this cop knew that he was prohibited from driving because of this. So this cop, calls the prosecutor and lets him know all of this shit.
Fan of the Magic.
Once they find all this out...
He hated the Hawks.
Huge Penny fan. Once they find all this out, it was Chris Rock who gave it, and he's like, I want to keep doing them commercials. At the time. He was Little Penny. So at that point, they are able to upgrade the charges from second-degree vehicular homicide, which is a misdemeanor, to first-degree, which is a felony.
Oh, boy.
There. And the prosecutor said, quote, if that officer had never sent us that email, Blaylock would have been charged with second-degree because we wouldn't have known about the doctor's orders.
Yeah.
So this is fucking amazing. The doctors... They have the doctor's report, which is what they're calling a smoking gun here, obviously. The prosecutor said, quote, Mookie has been specifically told you're not safe, you can't drive. It was put in writing to him and he signed it. That's why we view this as an indefensible case, which really makes fucking sense. The records show that the DA recommended reducing the charges, though, in all those other cases, so they're bringing that up. Now, the media is bringing that up like, hey, maybe if you charged him before, this shit wouldn't have happened. Now, this So then people produce paperwork that says, well, it's reduced. And he says, quote, we did not recommend reducing from DUI to reckless driving in any of those cases. They got reduced.
And who the hell did?
You're the prosecutor.
Right.
They were pled out. So someone fucking agreed to it. Don't know who. Maybe you should have been, I don't know, more into what your office was doing or something. But
you just sign shit all day?
I guess so. He said he was going to try to find out why they were reduced. But I'll find out right now.
I'll get to the bottom of it.
I'm pissed, but the guy, literally, the Pike County probate court person said the judge who could answer the question was gone for the day. So get back with me tomorrow.
Maybe
literally,
tomorrow.
I made a phone call, but the guy's on vacation, so I don't know. But trust me, it wasn't me. Yeah, fucking unreal. The Clayton County District Attorney Tracy Lawson said, quote, I would like the citizens to realize that whether you're famous or not famous, you're going to receive the same level of justice in this county after 7 times of not receiving shit.
Sure doesn't feel like it.
Yeah. So he wants a bond. He wants to get out of jail on this. Wow. So he, like I said, there was a warrant out for his arrest for DUI at the time, which is fucking interesting. The lawyer said, quote, I believe oftentimes DUIs are vehicular manslaughters that didn't occur. That's what they're saying. So his DUIs were like all potential. He could have done this many other times, potentially, is what he's saying.
That's some hyperbole.
He's massaging that shit hard. Yeah. It's something that I take very seriously, even though under the law, they're treated as misdemeanors. It's too much in court. So his attorney, Blaylock's attorney, Don Samuel, argued that at the arraignment that he's in a wheelchair. He's not a flight risk. Look at him. He's pathetic right now. He's broken down. He set his bail at $50,000, this poor man. Get him out of here, you know? He also said, quote, this is not the day for punishment. The day will come when we ultimately decide how this case should be handled, but not now.
We've missed it.
We've missed that
day.
So
let's start today.
2 days later, he is going to get, they set a bond of $250,000 he's got to meet. He does meet that.
Yeah.
He is requiring, part of this release is also 24-hour house arrest, GPS monitoring, weekly random drug and alcohol screenings, relinquishing of his passport, no driving, and exclusions to house arrest are only for work, church, doctor's visits, or meetings with his attorney.
Okay.
That's it. So he's not allowed to go. He's not allowed to go to the strip club.
No.
He's certainly not allowed to drive.
No.
Or leave the country. Or go to Canada to get more weed.
The good news is it's 2013. There is Uber everywhere.
That's the thing. Yeah. What the fuck, man? Get a taxi before that even. So, man, Jesus Christ. They end up, the different attorneys end up passing it back and forth. It's really weird. I don't understand how this ends up happening. They said that the quote, we transfer cases between offices often, but I've never appointed one of the attorneys to help prosecute a traffic case. They're getting one of their criminal attorneys.
A good one.
They're like criminal prosecutors that prosecute like murders and shit to prosecute this as well. They're not keeping it because normally a traffic thing, they would give that to a lower level DA. No, they're going to do. Someone getting elected is going to go do this one and make sure it gets fucking done because it's famous. Dia, not Death. The woman's name is, Dia Warren. Dia is our traffic expert, so they will be helping her. We also may consult with the traffic expert with the prosecuting attorney's counsel. Mookie bails out at $250,000 and is taken to another jail because he's wanted for the warrant there. So he's transported to Spalding County Jail where he's being held on probation violation and other shit from 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So June 24th, 2013, his lawyers they're proposing a plea deal with house arrest as the sentence.
Wow.
Just give him house arrest.
What are you talking about?
That is rejected as fuck. I mean, Jesus Christ,
your
man.
Mind?
What are you looking for sympathy? Look at him. He's in a wheelchair. So what? He put himself there. I don't give a shit if he's in a wheelchair. Fuck that guy.
He wasn't before that car.
No. You want us to feel bad for him? I mean, no. You know what? We'll feel bad for Monica Murphy's 5 kids who don't have a fucking mother anymore. The youngest one, the father said for weeks, he had to explain every day that mom wasn't coming home.
Oh my God.
His kids tapes rewind.
3.
Tapes rewind.
Oh.
They go, where's mom? Where's my? Oh yeah, mom's never coming home. And then you have to go through that every fucking day.
Oh Jesus.
So bad shit. I mean, that's who I feel bad for. I feel bad for all these people, Jimmy. But I also say not as bad, but I feel worse for those people. But I also feel bad for Darren Blaylock, who's his son, who right now is business development at Strive Consulting, LLC.
Good for him.
In Atlanta. He's doing really well doing IT consulting.
It's great.
And he's a very good, and he's got more cool stuff, too, we'll talk about.
Awesome.
But Mookie, he's got worse shit going
Darren,
on.
we're going to be at the Buckhead Theater pretty soon.
Yeah, come visit us. You can 100%. You're in for free, pal.
I'd love to meet you.
The negotiated plea, he ends up pleading, comes the day jury selection's supposed to start. So his shit's getting real, and he's like, let's just bleed this out now. I don't want to, let's not do this.
Yeah.
I feel like Kevin Willis is going to come for sentencing. I don't want to deal with that again. So going to trial would risk a 7 to 10 year sentence here, which would have probably been on the high end due to his DUI. He's got a shitload of, there's not a lot of sympathy to find with this guy.
It's hard when you have one for 0.36.
It's crazy.
Like 8 years ago.
Absolutely. So he takes a plea deal for what ends up being, we'll talk about it in a second here. So, wow, this is crazy. After all this, he goes to rehab. Okay, before he's going to go to jail later. He's going to go to rehab. So
he's fucking better because jail's tough when you're addicted to anything.
Yeah, he's going to go to rehab. But what he does before he goes to rehab is goes out drinking and goes to strip clubs a lot.
What?
That's what he does now while he's out free. Yeah, in this time period while he's awaiting sentencing.
What is he doing?
Oh, he's going to drink and go to strip clubs. A friend of his, Solomon guy, said, "Quote: We go to the club and people would look at him and try to ask him about it, but he wouldn't want to talk about it."
Well, I'm sure he wouldn't.
Well, I assure you. Why are you here drinking, stupid? He would still drink. 6 months after this accident and everything, he's out at a bar with a friend of his, a guy named Daryl Eubanks, and he let Eubanks drive Mookie's car, even though Eubanks was shit-faced drunk and had no license. Had his license revoked for a DUI.
Well, how did that car get there?
Eubanks drove it.
Or Mookie
drove it. Somebody drove, but he's going to let him drive it home. And Blaylock also is fucking charged.
Shit-faced too.
He's charged for letting this guy drive his fucking car drunk because he's charged for that too. So he goes to court there. When he shows up at his arraignment for court,
arraignment.
Did I say arrangement?
Yeah.
Charges is the next word. Right. Arraign, charge, and his arraignment on those charges for work. He's drunk. He fucking shows up at court shit-faced. He stumbles into court.
Mookie, you're a dickhead.
Drunk. You can't fucking do that.
No.
That is the one thing you cannot do in court is show up drunk.
You can't show up for a DUI drunk.
No.
You can't do that.
It's like showing up for your murder trial with a head in your hands, holding it by the fucking hair, going, I'm not a violent man. You're drunk.
Showing up for your child molestation charges, dragging an 8-year-old.
Dragging like a fucking 8-year-old, just flicking through your phone real quick while looking around like a scared cat.
What's happening here?
No, kitty porn, I know what you're talking about. I don't like it at all. Huh? Rubbing your fucking crotch.
This is unreal.
So the judge holds him in contempt and puts him in jail. Good. Hey, stupid, you're here just on pure stupidity. The judge did say, quote, he was respectful, he wasn't a loudmouth, he wasn't carrying on, but it impacts his ability to make a valid decision. Yeah. I generally don't like people to be shit-faced if they're going to make a legal decision in my courtroom. Yeah. Fair enough. March 14th, 2014 is court for the grocery store DUI, because he's got that going on too, the one where he smashed into that car. Fucking idiot. He's just dumber and dumber. He pleads guilty to DUI and hit and run charges that stem from that. He is sentenced, you sir, may fuck off, 30 days in jail. Big deal. But is credited with having served 14 already, so he's fine. He gets like 16 days in jail for that. No big deal. March 25th, 2014 is when they're officially upgrading his charges to first degree, everything. So he agrees to plea, like we said, and then he's sentenced. Yeah. At his sentencing, he apologizes to Frank, the Monica's husband, telling him that he says the crash would stay with him for the rest of his life.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, those words.
Yeah,
I'm sure Frank had some smart-ass shit to say.
Well, so her kids. You should see her kids if you think you feel bad.
That day was the rest of her life.
Yeah, that day. Yeah, let's imagine that. Yeah. So,
you fucking idiot.
Well, the judge says pretty much the same thing. He says, you, sir, may fuck off 15 years
in
prison, but but with only 3 to actually serve in prison. Okay. It's the way they work it out. It's 7 years in prison, 8 years on probation, but allows for the prison sentence to be suspended after 3 years as long as he completes certain requirements. 1,500 hours of community service, treatment for alcoholism, including twice weekly AA meetings, which you're fucking sentencing someone to religion.
You're sentencing
fucking
somebody
bullshit.
to church.
Don't drink. I don't care how you don't do it. I don't give a shit if you go worship the devil and it gets you not to drink or whatever the fuck you do. Stop drinking. Jesus doesn't have to be involved in this.
I get that it works for some people.
It does. Great. Good for you. It doesn't work for everybody. And
the failure rate is insane.
And if you're like really anti-religious, it has nothing to do with drinking, and you go into that, guess what you're not going to do? Pay attention to any fucking thing they say, because that shit is a religion and whatever. And if it works for you, great.
I love it.
Hey, awesome. Whatever works for you is great. I don't care. I just don't like being sentenced to things that have that overtone to them.
Gross.
I don't care what you sentence him to. You could sentence him to, tie him down and smash his nuts with a hammer at this point. I'm not saying it's mean.
Jerk off into the wall every day. I don't
that's
care.
fine. And also that he doesn't drive for the entire 15 years.
Okay, so there's clearly a warrant out for his arrest, because there's no way he's complying with that.
Yeah, no driving. For 15 years. Good luck.
This is ridiculous.
But 3 years of actual prison, which after he's not going to do too much time here. They said that the judge said he has admitted he has a problem with alcohol and he's getting treatment for it. Frank, though, the husband, Frank Murphy, he hasn't quite accepted it that well.
No.
He said, quote, "It seemed like he was just trying to apologize to make himself look good. I may be wrong, but that's my opinion."
Okay.
You know what? Frank. I'm on Frank's side too. He went to treatment at Potter's House in Jefferson, which is a long-term residential program for treatment of addiction. There, he apologized to Frank Murphy, like we said. The prosecutor said, quote, "He said something to the effect that the accident had changed him, and I think he was referring to drinking. Mr. Murphy spoke and said he understood it was a negotiated sentence. I can't say he went so far to say that he was okay with it, but I guess he let the court know that he didn't oppose it." He was like, I think he just wanted to be over. I would assume.
Probably.
Like, I'm not going to fucking fight with the prosecutor because for an extra 2 years. I want it to be over. Not bringing my wife back, not helping my kids any. Whatever. His lawyers, Mookie's lawyers, say that he's extremely remorseful and that post-rehab, he's just committed to straightening himself out and bringing some good out of this tragedy.
Okay.
Yeah, give those kids some fucking money. That's how you can be.
At least he didn't say anything about Jesus.
That's helpful, yeah. Now, 2019, Darren was on television. He was one of the contestants of the Bachelorette season.
Really?
Absolutely, he was.
Mookie Blaylock's son was on the Bachelorette.
Darren Blaylock was on the Bachelorette, yeah. It's under his bio there. It says, quote, "Along with sharing a love for football, Darren and Hannah share a lot of similar values when it comes to love. Darren says he loves a woman who can take charge. Does that sound like anyone we know?" I guess that's that broad. I don't know. I haven't fucking watched that crap, but I don't know. They said he was actually a front runner. Like, they were like, he's going to do well. He's eliminated in week 2, though. In the last 1 week. That's fine. But he's a big, handsome, college-educated dude that is an IT consultant in Atlanta.
He's going to do great.
Ladies,
He's
Jesus Christ.
Crush.
Yeah, totally. He's going to absolutely crush. He's
really,
beige. He's a beige baby. He's doing great. He's a good-looking, tall, handsome, athletic dude with a college degree, and he's doing fantastic.
Doing great.
He's going to be fine. At this point, his son, in 2019-ish, his other son, Dominic, his young son, who's not young anymore, he's like 18 years old in 2018, he decides that he is going to go to the University of Georgia to play football and maybe baseball too, because he's a top-rated prospect for both.
Yeah.
That's how good he is. He's a 5-star recruit for football and the number 2 wide receiver in the entire recruiting class of 2019 in America.
Wow.
The number 2 recruited wide receiver in the entire nation.
What has Mookie made?
It's amazing. Like I said, volleyball player and a fucking basketball player. That's amazing. Yeah, he also played shortstop and center field and switch hits in baseball. 6 foot tall, very fast, steals bases and shit like that. They're talking about him playing both sports in this, quote, per his stepfather, John Woods. Dominic has been told he has a chance to be a high draft pick in the MLB draft. You notice it ain't Mookie talking to agents about draft pick status? It's fucking John Woods.
Per his stepdad, John Woods, Dominic, who's probably named after Dominique Wilkins.
Yeah. Maybe.
By one of his teammates.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, man. Absolutely. Now, he says that, he's had a lot of attention on him as a kid for his own athletics. And they said, has all this pressure bothered you about Dominic? And he said, quote, wow. He said that the distractions have bothered him a little bit, but he's learned to ignore them because they've been going on since the 8th grade when South Carolina Gamecocks coach Steve Spurrier offered him a scholarship.
In 8th grade?
In 8th grade.
Wow.
That's how good he is. In 8th grade, they said, Division I player.
Spurrier said,
right now, sign him up.
Yeah.
And it's Spurrier, who's not a too shabby a college coach. He's
still coaching today.
Pretty fucking good college coach. He's got a couple of national championships, just a few.
Very good.
So, so they had been recruiting him really hard, and the coach said, his stepdad, John Woods, said, quote, he decided he felt comfortable with the University of Georgia and being home with Coach Smart. Kirby is 1 year into building a special place. He works hard and recruits hard. Yeah. So that's, by the way, the stepfather's quote, not old Mookie.
Mookie's still a little busy.
In 2019, as a freshman on the Georgia football team, which freshmen usually don't even play, instead, as a freshman, he plays wide receiver, plays in 12 games, has 18 receptions for 310 yards and 5 touchdowns, averaging 17.2 a catch.
Wow.
Dude's a deep threat.
He's good.
He's fast and he's nasty. He could be in the NFL, this guy.
He's going to probably.
So keep an eye on Dominic Blaylock as a player.
How great is that?
That's wild, right? That's so rare that happens with our guys. Can't get enough of Mookie Blaylock?
Yeah.
Well, on Canadian eBay, I found a game-worn New Jersey Nets Mookie Blaylock jersey.
Really?
Absolutely. It's $399 Canadian dollars.
What is that?
And 12 Canadian cents.
What is that?
I don't know, like 12 bucks and a 12-pack of Tim Hortons donuts. I have no idea what that is, but
a case of Labatt. Is that what that is?
I don't know. It's some of that paper with the pictures of moose on it. There's some with the Queen. And there's something with kids playing hockey, I think. And
Two beaver tails.
And you give that, and a pelt of some kind. And then I think a ticket to the Maple Leafs game.
Maybe.
I think all of that equals $399 Canadian dollars and 12 cents.
I'm going to buy that.
It's pretty awesome. Make sure it's game worn. I'm not sure it is or not. But there's 12 people watching it.
Really?
So that's a lot on eBay. And also, they have all sorts of cards, million cards. There's rookie cards, $2.65 Canadian cents or best offer. That's his rookie card.
Everything's in Canada.
Yeah, these are.
Did he leave it with its 2 ounces a week?
I think so back there. Oh, you want more Mookie Blaylock? Well, if you want to, what do you want? Maybe you want. I want Mookie Blaylock. I want to feel close to Mookie Blaylock and hear Jeremy spoke in class today. So how can I do that? Well, I'll go see the Pearl Jam tribute band Mookie Blaylock.
There it is.
Who tours
I knew they were
all
still
around
working.
the country.
Yeah.
They do. They tour all around. And I read an article. They're like, hey, every time Pearl Jam comes out with a new album, that's more on our set list. Yeah, because you didn't fucking write it. Can you imagine that?
Somebody else's
every
work.
time Bill Burr does a new fucking special, I get another hour of material. Wouldn't that be amazing? It's great. Every time Chappelle comes out with something hilarious, I get more. No, you don't do that. Write your own shit, guys. Come on.
Every time they come out with more music.
They said so. We get our more of our set list.
Unreal.
More on our whole deal there.
Unreal.
So that, my friends, is Mookie Blaylock, and that's a fucking.
Is he out? He's not in jail anymore, right?
No, he's not in jail anymore. He's out.
Right now he's out, and he's dealing with his 15 years of no driving.
That's it, man.
There's going to be a warrant for him soon.
Oh, he's got to fuck this up.
There's no way
point.
that guy's not going to fuck this up.
Man, I mean, I maybe killing someone would genuinely, but I mean, after he killed someone, he didn't learn shit.
No.
He was still going to the strip club and letting his drunk friends drive, but
this is going to go bad.
There could be more to this story. We might have a part 2 on this one. Who the shit knows?
Sure
so, well, stay tuned. You never know. Sometime in the next 4 years, maybe, because this is our 4th anniversary show, and we do want to tell everybody next week will be the Scummy Awards.
Yeah.
In addition to an episode, of course, but at the end of the episode will be the 2020 Scummy Awards. Guys, I get excited. I know the pageantry. We've had the Oscars. Who cares? The Grammys run. Who gives a shit? No one cares about that. You know what's important? The pageantry. It's just the The dress, Jimmy. We get black tie.
God,
it's a black tie affair.
I gotta get John Varvatos on that now.
I got to at least dry clean my tux.
Yeah.
I don't know who you're going to wear this year.
I'm not sure yet.
I'm not sure yet. But the pageantry
Michael Kors and
something.
John Varvatos are both fighting over it.
We'll be here next week, though, just in our flashiest duds with our most passion for the scummies. And
can't wait.
See if your favorite athlete has won a scummy this year. You find out. And there's some new categories, of course. We'll always keep it fresh with the scummies, so tune in for the scummies there. And if you like all of that, get on Apple Podcasts, the purple icon, or Stitcher, whichever one you listen on, and give us a review. Wherever you can give us a 5-star review, do it, please. It helps drive us up the charts. So if you enjoy the show and enjoy everything we've done for the last 4 years, this is the time to do it. It's been 4 years, for Christ's sake. Get on there. Tell us you're following instructions, following directions. Doesn't matter what you say. You got to say something in there. But we've taken 4 years of stories, of 195 crazy stories. It takes like 30 seconds to sign in. So go ahead and do that. Give us 5 stars. Head over to shutupandgivememurder.com for all of your crime and sports and small town murder needs. We have tons of merch up there. There's all sorts of new t-shirts. There's still ringtones up there. All sorts of cool stuff you can get. You can get tickets to live shows.
Yes.
Come see us if you want to come see Small Town Murder live, which is really just a comedy show.
It's so much fun.
We use the murder as a Trojan horse, and we have a great time. It's a blast. We have so much fun. Come see us. We will be this week, February 15th in Indianapolis, Indiana, and February 16th in Louisville. Come check us out. Shutupandgivememurder.com. Tickets are available. Also next month, March 13th and 14th, late shows. Those are both late shows, 10 p.m. shows in San Francisco at Cobb's. And then March 27th, 28th, we are in Detroit and Cincinnati. Come check us out there.
They're all almost sold out, so if you're coming, get them fucking now. Let's go.
Yes. By the way, Boston and New York. Boston has some singles left, and at the Wilbur, there's a few left up there. Get those done, because all the rest of them, there's like 30 tickets out of 1,100 left, and they're all singles spread out.
Sporadic.
And New York, you're almost sold out too. Brooklyn on the 23rd of May, so get your tickets to that right now. Also, second show, Portland. I'm not even sure if there's any tickets to that
It's
left.
very close.
If it's not sold out, it's very close. So get your tickets there, and then we'll deal with the rest later. But get all your tickets right now and do that, and come see us. We promise you, you will have as good a time there as any other comedy show you've ever fucking been to. It's both of us we will skull fuck you with comedy. We're not going to lie to you. We're going to pop out an eyeball and just fucking...
We're going to give you the best show that we are capable of giving you. That is a guarantee.
We're going to send Kevin Willis down to each and every one of your positions.
And he's going to 4-inch conduit your face and or asshole.
Either way, you'll be laughing. It's going to be hilarious. So come out and see us. Honestly, do that. Lots of fun. If you want to follow us on social media to get all the updates, you know what else you're going to find out on social media?
What is that?
When we tell you what the new Crime and Sports live show is going to be, where and when, it's going to be on social media first. So if you want to get your tickets, get your VIPs or whatever the hell they sell them, do that. Go to shutupandgivememurder.com where you can get your tickets. Follow us on social media. We're at Crime and Sports on Twitter and Facebook, and at Small Town Murder on Instagram. And we release all that information on social media as soon as we know it there. And if you want to be an even bigger hero of ours,
you can.
One of our producers who we're going to talk about here in just a second, these are our people. I mean, we can't say enough about them. They've literally kept the show going for 4 years, and they're our heroes, man, and we're going to gush about them. So if you want to be one of these people, you can do that very easily by going to patreon.com/crimeinsports, or you can just head over to PayPal and use our email address, crimeinsports@gmail.com, for a one-time donation. And there's lots of stuff coming up on Patreon too. We're going to be doing some crime and sports stuff too on Patreon, in addition to Small Town Murder this year. We're going to have a bunch of bonus stuff. We're really going to work this out, probably starting after this week, because we have a lot of road stuff. And then after this week,
it's going to be exhausting.
We're going to have a lot more to put out. So we'll do that. Without further ado, damn it, 4 years in the making, I would like to hear the names of the people who have kept us going and are so wonderful for us. Jimmy, please hit me with them.
This week's executive producers are Alexander Hale, Ben Eby, or Abai. I don't know. Happy birthday, buddy.
Happy birthday.
Mark June Wells. That guy is a fucking hero, man. And we
love Mark June Wells.
He runs Sativum Consulting Group. He's just a fucking great guy. Thank you so much, Mark.
So his consulting will keep you awake.
It will. Christy Miller, Chelsea Morgan, Reagan Shaukley, Talina Jensen, Tanya Volanek, Lori Ziegler, Matt Kleeman, Carol Braun, Carrie Clark, Karen Travels, Chan Davis and Elena celebrating 2 years together. Ebony Courtier is going through it, man. She's having a tough run, but
hang in there.
Hang in there, young lady. Everything will get better. Jordan Bennett and Eric Kohlkamp. Thank you guys so much. And really, this week especially, we had a run of luck that happens in this kind of business. And you guys really
cool to us. Thank you.
You guys are who we'd rather answer to. So
we feel like you're part of our family. Thank you for that.
Thank you so much for reaching out and doing everything that you did. Kate Graham, other producers this week are Kate Graham, Zoe Graham, Andrea Samples or Andrea, Douglas Harris, Kelly Snap, Michael Warwick, Rachel Peterson, Janice Hill, Sarah Surridge, Dylan Irish, Amanda Knight, Scott McDonald, Brendan Abels, Jessica Christensen, Joshua Austin, yes, Jesse Hartman, Kimberly Borboni.
You're on a roll today.
I know. I was just thinking the same thing.
Killing it, dude.
How the fuck am I doing this? Susanna Platt, Ashley Vio, Albert Mueller, Lisa Edwards. Monsanga's son is having a birthday, and he had a tough 2 years, man. The past 2 years for that kid have been fucking bananas.
They're rough. Hang in there, Monch.
I shouldn't have said the F word there. Don't say those words, Javon. You're a good kid. Happy birthday. Listen to your dad and be good.
Yes.
Jude Kendall, Herbert Mead, Brittany Hughes, Desiree Barnson, Liz Vasquez. Thank you so much, Liz, and thanks for the past couple of years, 3 years, 4 years. I think she's been around since the start, too. Your support has been fucking incredible. Thank you. Stephen Rude, yours as well, man. Mark Sharp, Copey, Duchesne, James LaRussa, Ramona Boswell, Eileen Harrigan. Damn it. Robin Anderson, Toto Jacana, Ryan Smoopsy Poops a lot. No, Ryan Smoopsy poops quick. That's what it is. He poops quick, apparently. Aofi Leahy, I think. Aofi? Probably not. Tara Jenkins, happy birthday, Tess Divine. Nathan Little, Mark Atherholt, Hans Dickel, probably not. Cecilia Carter, Gary Howard, again, another one. Thank you, Gary. Peyton Meadows, another. Thank you. Catherine Potter, Christina with no last name, Alex Eldridge, Danielle Doyle, Jared Knight, Jeff Rash, Erica Geisler, Timothy Perkins, Carol. Yeah, Carol? What, is that a real name? Edja? No way. Is it Karen?
Sure it is.
What did I do? Emily Van Breda, somebody at KEK Clothing loves you and thinks you're wonderful and said all these nice words about you and then didn't say their name. So I have no fucking idea who that is, Emily.
You're great.
It turns out you're an amazing woman. So happy Valentine's Day. Leon Wegman, Garcia Kane. Why did I put in a space? That's a last name.
Oh.
I put Garcia A. Kane, and that's not right. I'm sure of it. James Snell, Trent Ellis, Julia Haza, Jenny Arnold, Ann Loading, Chris Crow donated both ways. Thanks, Chris. Banjo Dope, Matt Phillips, Scott Davidson, Katrina Wilcox, Victoria Gabe, Stephen Patched. He donated both ways.
Thank you.
Peach,
He's always there too.
Packed. Zach with no last name. James Lipton. Probably not, right?
Tell me, what's your biggest fear?
What is your favorite word?
What is your favorite curse word?
Matthew Kroll, Robert Willis, Harrison Albert, Neon Cheon, Tia Jones, Travis Ezel, Lisa, or is that Lisa? Lisa Lubert, Heidi with no last name, Morgan with no last name, Kimberly Rice, Ariel Teague, Leah Levita.
Ezel, by the way, thanks for being a cool Mormon. Yeah, Ezel's a Mormon name.
Is it?
Thanks, brother.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
know you're the coolest person in your fucking family. We appreciate you.
Vincent, Peter, is that Peter? Alet, I think. Elizabeth Kelly, Rachel. I almost said Zackle. That is not Zackle. That's for sure Rachel Speedle, Jeannie Ashley, Jordan Gooch, probably not, right? Nobody's
Gooch.
Last name is Gooch.
Yeah.
Maybe it
Different
is.
strokes.
Jan Peckbrenner. Okay, it's all right on back. All full circle. I'm an idiot. Jose Sanchez, Aaron McCarty, Stephanie Tuba, Kyle Bailey, Karen Flage, Lauren Groff, Hale or Haley Mattenennen. Oh, this is that fucking toughening. Mattenennen is not right. Candace Blaylock. Oh, look, we got one.
Hey.
Emily Cole, Nick Van Getzel. Gestel. Shit. Jennifer Hughes, Kathy Simon Simmons, Brittany Thornton, Jennifer Hughes, I said. Alexander Baker. Andrew Exline, I was doing so great. Don Mayforth.
Running out of gas, folks.
Mallory Rutrow. No, Rutroski.
You got Rutro out of Rutskotsky? What the hell is wrong with you?
Sandy with no last name, Meg Stampke, Gary Thompson, Savory, almost said slavery. It's spelled that way.
Oh, boy.
Emily Siloa, Jorge Lopez, Angela Ansman, Matt Ligon, Octavia with no last name, probably Spencer, Alex Olson, Mackenzie Bolin, Lauren Clem, Tavia with no last name, Dahl Wilson, Jamie Taylor, Dennis Hannigan, Alex Stewart, Lisa Morrow, Nicola Cheville, Sarah Phipps, Kristen Hecker, Samantha Sonapori, Mandy Peterson, Tim Schlicker.
You got drunk. Jimmy had 5 shots between that last name and that one.
Jennifer Wild, Cynthia Takajasi, Terry Henderson, Melissa Mack, Nick Mendini, Jonas Dominic, Tim Heath, Jason Stillwell, Justin Janish, Rebecca Anderson, Errol Lobo, Michelle Orozco, Alden Harris, Colleen Vigas, probably, Dr. Gregors, Evo Gizonis. This is fucking brutal now. Heather Toms, congratulations on making great shoes. Glenn Monterosa, Rhonda Campanello, Jennifer Jones, Carrie Sharon, Carrie Gage, Kevin Coffey, Melissa Day, home stretch, goddammit.
By the way, we forgot Joe and Carrie in Portland.
Yes.
Sorry, in the beginning. Yeah,
Joe
they've been
Carrie,
amazing to us.
For fucking 4 years.
Yeah,
I've stayed at their goddamn house.
We love them.
You're
Thank
amazing.
You guys. We
Thank
forgot.
you.
It was a big miss on our part.
Big swing and a miss.
Yeah.
Schmook McBoop, Kyle Carson, Caitlin Prumer, Tristan Natalie, Jen Bateman, Shanna Colbert, Tess Stoops, Crystal with no last name, Colleen Udovich, Phil Wall, Jamie Havel, Chris Crow. Again, the guy donated both ways. Thank you. Adam Slade Bennett, Drew Deering, Jeremy Spalderick, Courtney Cheney, Jen Anderson, Melanie. God damn it. Melanie? What?
Melanie's not a first name.
No, it's not. Melanie Somerville, Melissa Chai, Jalesia, Ramiro McCabe, and I'm dragging into the finish line with Lindsay Hand. You guys are honestly fucking amazing.
Thank you, everyone, from the bottom of our hearts. We're blown away by every bit of support we've ever gotten from the first few people that we were embarrassed to even tell you. Follow us on Twitter, I guess. We didn't know, or check us out on Facebook in the beginning. And from those first few people who were like, "Oh wow, this is pretty cool. I've always wanted to hear something with crime and sports," and hey, this is pretty funny, and they would start tweeting about it. Our Jay Wedbetter and our Mark Busby and guys like that in the beginning who are. Kind of the 4 horsemen, we call them, Sean Banner and Monch Sanja and all these guys. I know I'm leaving people out, but I apologize. We love you guys.
That's the 4.
That's the 4 horsemen, but then we've added more.
Oh, God, there's many
more.
guys.
There's so much more. Dana Grayson always has our back. Andrew Bailey's are one of our big guys. TJ Mack, we can't say enough about TJ. We love her to death.
Many people.
And there's a million more. Jordan Bennett. There's so many more of these people that have been supportive of us for so long.
Amy in Denver.
Amy in Denver. There's so many guys, and I'm sorry.
Amy Spicer.
Yeah. See, we could do this all night because we remember these people because that's how much they meant to us, because these were people who we didn't know if we were doing this, if anybody gave a shit. They were like, "Hey, I give a shit and this is cool."
Christiane Castaldi.
Yeah, that kept us going, guys. Honestly, if you didn't tell us that, we didn't know anybody liked it. We might have quit.
No clue, Talina Jensen.
Yeah, literally just a few people saying that.
Yeah.
Help
every goddamn week, and
thank you,
being
guys.
Unbelievable people, so we really appreciate it.
Thank you for everything you do for us. Jimmy, what if they want to say something to you, thank you, yell at you, hit you with their Kevin Willis dick? How could they do it?
You can message me at Whisman Sucks, WHISMAN Sucks on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat, and I really, genuinely, guys, I appreciate it. Thank you. Where can they find you?
You can find me at Jimmy P is Funny, or just copy and paste my name from the show description and save yourself some misspellings and frustration, because you won't spell it right anyway if you're looking for me in other platforms. But other than that, that, I think that's about it. 4 years wrapped up. Fucking amazing. I can't believe it's been 4 years. Thank you, honestly, to everybody who's done that, everyone who's come out. And we said this, I think, from the very beginning. Yeah. I'm sitting next to the index card that says Crime and Sports Studios that we wrote mockingly when we did our first episode and stuck it next to the table. We were like, haha, hilarious. But now it's actually true. And you guys have made it happen. So I can say, live from the Crime and Sports Studios, we will see you next week.
Bye.
If you like Crime and Sports, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
A few miles from the glass spires of Midtown Atlanta lies the South River Forest. In 2021 and 2022, the woods became a home to activists from all over the country who gathered to stop the nearby construction of a massive new police training facility, nicknamed Cop City.
At approximately 9 o'clock this morning, as law enforcement was moving through various sectors of the property, an individual, without warning, shot a Georgia State Patrol trooper.
This is We Came to the Forest, a story about resistance.
The abolitionist mission isn't done until every prison is empty and shut down.
Love and fellowship.
It was probably the happiest I've ever been in my life.
And the lengths we'll go to protect the things we hold closest to our hearts. Follow We Came to the Forest on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.